this spring. From ESPN's Jeremy Fowler this morning, the Seahawks have promoted assistant Justin Otten to the run game coordinator. The Raiders earlier requested to interview Justin for the same role, but the Seahawks blocked the request.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now.
You know, a big rule of making to-do lists or a list when you just have a lot of decisions to make and a lot of things to do is to prioritize. Bump, I'm sure you're already plenty familiar with this. Prioritizing things is very important. You don't have time to get to everything. Or in the case of the Seahawks, the money to re-sign everyone. So that's what we're going to do. We are prioritizing the Seahawks free agents. And you can approach it as like, hey, you could look at just two if you want. Like, this is the must re-sign guy. This is pivotal to, in my opinion, them getting back to a Super Bowl. And then you can pick, Curtis was talking about, like maybe a luxury pick where you're like, I don't think they fundamentally need this guy, but he helps. I'd love to see him back. So you can organize it just 1 and 2. You can have a list 1 through 5. That was too much for me. So if you want to take that approach, that's fine. Crunching those numbers was too much, so I went with 2. But if you're looking at the Seahawks free agents right now, who's right at the top of your priority list?
Well, there's 4 that I'm looking at off top, right? You got Reek, you got Shaheed, you got K9, and you got Kobe, right? All 4 of these dudes made plays during the season that helped this team get to where they are today, which are Super Bowl champions of the world, Craig. And priority number 1 has to be K9. K9 is going to cost like the most for his position. You know what I mean? Like Kobe's going to cost some money, but there are safeties getting paid more than Kobe Bryant is valued at around $14 million. K9, the creme de la creme when it comes to running backs is clearly Saquon Barkley. You're not going to get that type of money, right? You weren't Offensive Player of the Year, didn't go for 2,000 yards, just different. After that, it's like the Jonathan Taylor and Derrick Henry's around $14, $15 million. So I think that because of who he is, what he did the last month and a half of the season, and what he can possibly get as far as his position, he's probably the most expensive out of these guys according to his position, right? He's going to ask for, and he should ask for, about $12 million because he says, look, I am the Super Bowl MVP. I got this run game going. Yes, the O-line helped, but things were different once I started going.
They were.
And Sam looked better. Naturally, he should ask for $12 million. Because he's going to ask for the most for his position, you got to look at K9 and make that whole situation a priority.
Okay, so was K9 more like like, hey, you really got to do this, and then Kobe number 1, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to be boring. I think that's right. Like, that feels right to me. But I will say this. Ken Walker is creeping up the list of priority re-signings. And my only question is, is he going to command significantly more than a Rico Dowdle, who may very well re-sign with Carolina, but who also had just over 1,000 yards this season, and his market value on SpotTrack is projected at more like a $6.5 million, right? Which is about $3 to $4+ million less than K9. That's a good chunk of money to save for a guy that could maybe get you 1,000 yards. I didn't watch a ton of Panthers games. Carolina fans, please forgive me. I didn't watch a ton of Panthers games, and so even though you were hearing about him, which is always good news when you're not paying close attention to a team and you're hearing about a player, that's a great thing. Does he bring you what Ken Walker can? Because Ken Walker's got that. I want to know. My big question would be, does Rico Dowdle have that?
Hey.
Yeah, like any play could be a home run type of play that Ken Walker does give you.
No, I don't think he does. I don't. I've watched more Panthers game than I guess the average fan because obviously the Seahawks played the Panthers and then you go back and you watch film and you break down Rico's biggest runs. There was a stretch where he was one of the league leaders when it comes to running the rock. I forget which weeks there were. It was like a 3 or 4 week stretch where he was just doing his thing. He has big play ability, but he doesn't have that violent change of direction that K9 has. Every running back has some sort of change of direction. I'm not saying he doesn't have it.
Yeah, but to make it at this level, you don't have it.
I'm just saying that he don't have that I'm going left but I'm really going right. You know, everything in my soul says I'm going left, but when that left foot hits the ground, I'm going the other way. The one that I'm looking at is Travis Etienne. I like the way that he runs the football. I think that he's a bit more downhill. He's a little older, 27 years of age. He's projected to cost around the same much. It's the same amount as Kenneth Walker. Not Kenneth Walker, Rico.
Yeah.
So I think I like those two, though. I'm definitely looking at both of those and saying, all right, let's talk and let's make a deal.
Yeah, very intriguing. 6 to 7 million per is sounds a lot better and a lot more palatable than 9+. I guess I feel better about it if you're right. If you bring back Kobe and you feel like you got some dynamic playmakers back, fine, I can handle it. But everything about this team still speaks to being a team that wants to prioritize the run and really lean into that, allowing them to be dynamic offensively.
Mm-hmm.
That requires having, a running back that's healthy and out there, because Zach Charbonnet is not going to be ready for training camp, and B, a running back that can give you some explosive plays. And so I think that's Ken Walker. Man, he's close to number one right now. The only thing making me hesitate is that he can command a lot more money because of his final month, and probably more than the type of running back he is.
Yeah.
Which is great for him. A bummer for the Seahawks.
Yeah, it is a bummer. The thing that keeps me optimistic about if you don't sign K9 is that I'm a firm believer that you can find a running back for 2 to 3 seasons to hold it down. You also pointed out there's a stretch between Marshawn and Chris Carson where you didn't find that running back. Mm-hmm. You're relying on Russell Wilson to lead the team in rushing.
Yep.
Ross had one kind of good year half a year, and you think that he's going to be the guy. Yeah. Then you had Alex Collins come in and have some good moments as well. It's hard because I feel like you can have a rotation of running backs with this system, what they're trying to do, and still have success and not have that running back go for 1,000 yards. You got a 7-yard runner here, 500 here, 300 there, be a threat, and we'll see. But there's nothing like having a running back that could bounce it to the outside and break one for 30. I believe that K9 has the most 20-yard rushes in Super Bowl history, right? He had like 3 of those. I think he passed up Terrell Davis. Our producer, Nasser Chobe, slipped me that note. I should have kept it. But, that's how special this dude is. But I look at the offense, and I say to myself, you could do without a K9, but you're definitely better with the K9.
Someone said, please include durability conversations with these running backs, too. I get the concerns about Ken Walker. I absolutely do. I think it helped him that he was part of a more collaborative effort, and, it didn't have nearly as many carries as he averaged this year as opposed to previous seasons. I also think there's an element to running back durability that feels almost unavoidable.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason running backs tire out or wear down before a lot of other positions in football.
Yeah, man.
It is very difficult.
It's violent.
Very difficult to just try to predict, like, this running back for sure is going to stay healthy. You know who never got hurt until he got to the league? Rashad Penny.
Right.
And I know that that's a horrible example to give.
First-round pick.
And that you can look at Ken Walker, having a couple injuries and missing some time. But first of all, Ken Walker was here. He's not suddenly being used differently than he was in 2025. They're still going to have him as part of a 2 running back group with Charbonnet once Charbonnet's healthy.
And that's the way to go with most of these running backs. You want a 1-2 combo unless you got Jonathan Taylor, D. Henry, Christian McCaffrey, and even Bijan Robinson had Algier over there as well. Durability is definitely a factor when it comes to this whole thing. I mean, Ken Walker touched the ball over 300 times, I want to say, when it comes to running the football and receiving the rock. It's just tough, man. When you touch the ball that many times, you got 11 eyes looking at you, trying to take you down. Things are going to happen, and that's kind of been the knock, one of the knocks with Ken Walker. He had 221 carries, and he had 31 receptions, so a little under 300. But I think that's the number where you want to hover around. I mean, you look at the Christian McCaffrey touched the ball the most out of anybody in the NFL. It's surprising that he made it through the season without major injuries. But that's part of it. But you can't predict that. You can't look at K9 and try to make this deal and come to negotiations and throw injuries on the table. Like, hey, but what if you get hurt? Yeah, that's a possibility with every position. Mm-hmm. More likely with the running back, but with these guys, you have to break it down to what you've seen recently and just knock on wood and pray that they come out healthy at the end of the season.
You're just really, I know that Dowdle isn't the best example because he appeared in at least 16 games the last 2 seasons, I think. And and has 1,000 yards in each of those. So this sounds contradictory, and I get that. But for the most part, you'll be hard-pressed to find running backs that year in and year out will play 16 or 17, just pretty routinely. Dan Graziano thinks the Seahawks will try to make it work with Ken Walker.
When you look at what a contract would cost, I kind of start as a baseline with what Kyron Williams got from the Rams last year, about $11 million a year for 3 years. I think that's probably where these backs they'll probably try and top that and get as close as possible to that, the $14 million that Jonathan Taylor makes. Will Seattle be willing to do that for Ken Walker? It remains to be seen. I think that there's certainly a price that they have in mind for running back, and especially one that was used in a committee this year. I know he's coming off Super Bowl MVP, and that's obviously a huge feather in his cap, and that's paid off in the past for guys who hit free agency right after. But you look at the year, like he's kind of thrived in this sort of two-back setup with Charbonnet, and I think, if you're Seattle, you're trying to sell him on like, hey, we got something special here. We were able to keep you healthy, et cetera, et cetera. So I think they'll try and get a deal done with him. But if not, he goes onto the market with those other backs, and that depends on whose eye he ends up being the apple of.
11 to even 12 is tough, Bump, and that probably means that you cannot keep you will not keep all of Kobe Bryant, Ken Walker, Boye Mafe, Rashid Shaheed. You might only be able to keep 2, and depending on which 2, maybe only 1.
The thing about the guys that we're talking about, right? We focus on K9 and we focus on Kobe to start. We think those are the 2 most important positions. If they're not there, if K9 is gone, you have a replacement already. Now, Charbonnet is not healthy, but you do have a guy. And I feel like running backs are easier to find in drafts. Mm-hmm. If you don't have Kobe Bryant, you still got Okada. Okada's not a Kobe Bryant. I think there are levels to this, but if you start the season with Okada, after Mike McDonald brings in competition, I think you feel okay about it. Rashid Shaheed, right? He is a receiver, but we mostly know him as a returner. You have Horton waiting in the wings. If Rashid's not there, you still have a guy. Is he as good as Shaheed? We'll find out. Not at this point of his career because he's so young. Shaheed has a history of doing this thing. You're okay technically. Reek's not here. You still got Joe. Like, they've done such a good job of creating depth at these positions that if any of these guys aren't here, you don't like it. You wish they were. You know you're not getting better at that position, but you have something in place for the meantime until these guys draft or develop.
And that's true. It's not like you've got JSN hitting for agency and you're going, do whatever you can. Yeah. Because all love to Jake Bobo and Cooper Kupp. The pair of them are not going to replicate 1,800 yards. Nah. Nearly 1,800, I should say. I'm just going to go over the primary list we're looking at again. Derek Young, Reek Woolen, Kobe Bryant, Chaz Surratt, Josh Jobe, Ken Walker, Boye Mafe, Josh Jones, Rashid Shaheed. The priciest will be Kobe Bryant, Rashid Shaheed, Boye Mafe, by virtue of being a pass rusher, could look at a nice contract. And then you've got Ken Walker that could be anywhere from like upper level 9 to 10, 11, 12. It's really hard to tell because would he not have been Super Bowl MVP and had the last month of the season? He made himself several $1 million
Sure did.
From that stretch. So kind of hard to tell there. But I think the assumption here is you're going to have to pick and choose between a Kobe Bryant and Ken Walker, or between Ken Walker and Rashid, because those are all going to be your bigger contracts. For Bump, it sounds like you're going, hey, I love what Kobe brings you. And then following that would be Ken in that order.
Yep.
And I think I'm co-signing it with my fear from covering past Seahawks teams that couldn't get the run going, bumping Ken up to maybe number 1.
The thing about Kobe is he allows you. All year we've been talking about how Nick and Mawari unlocked this defense, allowed them to stay in that nickel base. Kobe Bryant is part of that too. If you don't have a safety like Kobe Bryant back there, what are you going to do with Nick and Mawari? Yes, you can play Okada, but they're way more comfortable playing that nickel as your base with Kobe Bryant back there. So, yes, Mawari is a special type of player. He's versatile. He can do a lot of things. So can Kobe Bryant. With him and Jay Love back there, combined with Nick and Mawari and Witherspoon in the game, you're allowed to kind of keep that two-eye shell that you like to play.
Someone did make the case for Boye Mafe. They said, hey, Boye Mafe hasn't been mentioned, but Boye and Kobe are 1 and 2. You do have a sneaky, I wouldn't say depth concern, but like a sneaky need. Like you could certainly upgrade with your pass rush. It's I think not as obvious outside of Seattle because this is a team that was still top 10 in sacks. They still were, I think, top 5 in pressures, didn't even need to blitz a ton, and that's great. But, yeah, you could use an upgrade there. It's why we were talking about, a Max Crosby trade wouldn't happen, but it's why we were entertaining it the other day. So fair point. Fair point from a listener about the importance of Boya Mafe there, too. All right, let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, extra, real life.
Headline rewrites.
Must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news.
Powered by Bay Alarm Security Services.
With Bump and Stacy.
Headline number 1, announced earlier today, ESPN's replacing the time slot that was Sunday Night Baseball with WNBA and NWSL games for what they're calling Women's Sports Sundays. What's the real headline?
I'm sure the reaction to this news will be very normal.
No, I think there'll be some people hating. That's for sure. I think this is a great thing. 9 weeks of Women's Sports Sundays. They got a bunch of investors that saying, look, we're going to put a whole bunch of ads during these time slots to help create more revenue for these ladies doing their whole thing. This is how you grow the sport. Mm-hmm. You don't just grow it and say, show up to the games. Yeah, you got to show up to the games, but you also have to make it, they're more accessible to watch, right? And I think this is what they're doing with Women's on Sundays. Things change, man. So I get all the baseball diehards who are going to feel some type of way about it. But they're showing a rise in viewership when it comes to women's sports. And how do you keep that going? You have to give them visibility. You have to invest in them. So you got firms who are invested in them, advertisers who are going to put there who have dedicated just to air their stuff on Women's Sports Sundays. This is how you grow it. Yeah. So you can hate if you want to, but I'm here for it.
Well, and if you're hating, you might be missing the important context that Sunday Night Baseball was already going to be gone. ESPN needed to replace this slot. So what they're choosing to do is to, as Bump said, highlight women's sports and pair with those advertisers and find those new opportunities to grow the sport, and that can be really cool. This wasn't ESPN saying, we're doing away with Sunday night and we're replacing it with Women's Sports Sundays. But that's what it's being framed as, and it's leading to a lot of people being, I think, unfairly just weird and rude and not normal about it. Sunday Night Baseball is now an NBC product.
Yeah.
So this is ESPN saying, hey, what can we do with Sunday nights that could be cool or innovative or allow us to spotlight some of these big stars? Hey, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese and all of these women, the WNBA and WSL is also going to be highlighted, are being talked about a ton. Let's highlight it.
Yeah.
And I think that's awesome.
Grow the sports.
Yeah.
I like it.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 2, the Mariners are bringing back backup catcher Mitch Garver on a minor league deal. What's the real headline?
I'm sure the reaction to this news will be very normal.
Really is what else you're going to do. Harry's now with the Reds. Harry Ford.
Nationals.
Nationals, sorry.
They are a red
color.
Yeah.
He's red uniform.
Yeah,
I just saw red. I just saw red.
No, that makes sense.
Saw red.
I see the vision.
Yeah, what are you going to do? I mean, you got 2 other guys that are going to be in spring training. Andrew Nizer, I believe, and Johnny Peretta. Nizer has a bit more experience than Peretta. And Mitch has been here, done that. It's not the 2-year, $24 million contract that we saw a few years ago. So go ahead and bring him back. And Cal's going to have to rest for a while or every now and then. We know that he wants to play every single inning if he can. I feel better about the Mitch signing this time than I did the last time.
Yes, and I think the last time is because it was for so much money and it was, hey, you're going to be a masher and not you're going to be a backup catcher. In fact, I had to remind myself of that when in the sports pit I said, I feel bad for Mitch Garver, and you 2 immediately said, don't.
Why? You got $24 million.
Yeah.
I did forget about that very important part, and it's why so many people were upset. Mitch Garver's numbers as purely a backup catcher are perfectly fine. He's a great catcher. He's not going to be an offensive powerhouse, but that's exactly what you would get from a backup catcher. Would you be paying a backup catcher to be your number 3 hitter? Probably not. No. So I can see why a lot of Mariners fans were mad. But Bump, you're right. This version of Mitch, this contract he's on, I'm cool with this.
This is a different kind of Mitch. I'm good.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 3, both USA and Canada survived overtime scares in men's hockey to advance to the knockout round. Here was the American game winner, courtesy of Quinn Hughes.
Now Quinn Hughes, we played 3.5 minutes in overtime. Quinn Hughes shoots, he scores! He scores! Quinn Hughes in overtime wins it, and the United States will move on and face Slovakia in the semis.
And both countries meeting for the gold medal on the women's side right now, scoreless in the first period. What's the real headline?
Catch these hands, Brent Stecker.
That's right.
our Canadian.
Check him into the wall here in the hallway.
Part Canadian sports editor who hopefully
I didn't know he was
listening
Canadian.
Right now.
He wears like Team Canada stuff all the time.
Yeah, he's obsessed
I
with
hardly see him.
Canada
Maybe he
and
had his
Gonzaga.
That was
all
his,
the time.
he just
and-
like the maple leaf logo.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
okay.
so nice.
Yeah,
You know what I
of
mean?
course He's Canadian, of
Yeah,
course.
it's all coming together now.
Yeah. This was, I didn't watch the game. I just watched like the condensed 15-minute version of it before the show. And this was intense, man. I mean, our goalie blocked what? As our hockey homies call it, the tender. The tender blocked like 28-29. The Hughes brothers, I was so confused. There's a Jack Hughes and a Quinn Hughes. I go, am I hearing different things? But they're actually
There's a
brothers.
third Hughes brother, too.
Yeah, there is, yeah.
He's dating...
They're like the Hemsworths.
I think one of them is dating that Tate McRae, who's
What?
a very famous singer, yeah.
Hang on, this is
Oh,
more
now you
important
got her
news.
attention.
I know.
Now you got her attention. But no, that was dope, man. U.S., let's go get it. Let's go get it. You know, I'm telling you, Olympics come around, and you can't tell me nothing about my country. We're perfect, okay? In all ways.
Jack Hughes is allegedly dating Tate McRae. And she's from
Canadian.
Canada.
Yeah.
Wow. So this is
You know who Tate McRae is.
You don't know?
No.
She's a pop star, the Gen Z girlies.
Not quite like Dua Lipa or Olivia
Dua
Rodrigo
Lipa.
or
Amazing.
anybody like that.
I love Dua Lipa. No, she's for the younger generation, the younger kids.
Right. I see her.
Yeah.
I mean, she's 22, so maybe that's why.
Yeah, 20s and
Out of
younger,
my
I
range.
should say.
Out of my range.
It's for young kids that didn't grow up with like Britney Spears and pure pop music. It's now having a resurgence, and they're like, "Wow, this is the coolest thing ever!" And you're like, "Yeah, this was just the '90s."
Yeah, this is every day for us.
Yeah, but it's cool again. So.
Hey, she's 5'8". She's got some size to her.
Yeah.
All right.
So.
See, Tate.
What was I gonna say about that? What do you think is the best sport to watch as an Olympic sport?
As an Olympic sport?
I think it might be hockey.
Track and field for me. Track and field.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the sprints.
Where you're like, just the intensity of this, or like.
Because you know sprints is going to come down to us in Jamaica every year. Us in Jamaica.
I like short track speed skating in the
that's
Winter
cool.
Olympics.
Yeah, I like that
That's pretty fun.
You know what I got into? The cross country, when they go a mile or two and then start shooting things. I was like, this is some real survival stuff right
biathlon,
here.
Yeah,
like,
this is taking it back to the
real
start
life.
of humanity.
That's what the guy competed in that had to apologize for cheating on his girlfriend.
Tripping.
He's one of the biathletes.
Tripping.
Or biathlon or whatever it is.
Whatever.
I appreciated him saying, maybe she hasn't seen it. That's my favorite part of the Olympics. That so far. All right, you don't have to wait long to hear from Woolen and Rashid Shaheed on whether they'd like to come back to Seattle. Both players had interviews yesterday. Hear what they had to say next on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
I know the paint's barely dry on the new Super Bowl champ Seahawks gear, but can you believe Mariners pitchers and catchers have already reported and spring training is underway?
Holy catfish, that was fast.
They know from day one of spring training, they have a chance to win the whole thing.
Follow how the 2026 Mariners come together at seattlesports.com. We're the home of your American League West champion Mariners.
Holy smokes.
Seattle Sports.
Trust is everything. Earning it takes years. Losing it takes 5 seconds.
Lee Johnson Auto Family.
Hi, I'm Justin Shirley. We offer 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 24 months on new roofs. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF now. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for honest pricing, expert service, and guaranteed repairs. This dedication has earned them a Carfax Preferred designation. At Bucky's, every customer gets detailed Carfax updates, timely service reminders, and a full service history, all at your fingertips. With 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, and easy financing, Bucky's makes
The
auto
Bears
care
have been
simple.
trying.
Visit
The state of
Bucky's.com
Illinois
today
has
and
met them
drive
with
with confidence. Bucky's.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Forget Cloud 9. We're headed to Cloud 10 with prizes up to $10,000 in cash. Hearts will be racing every Saturday night in February as 2 lovely winners are drawn every hour from 6:30 till 10:30. Will you be one of Cupid's Cashboard winners? Visit daily to claim your free entry and find out. Don't forget, your Reef Rewards card can save you up to 25 cents per gallon at Lummi Bay Market next to Silver Reef. Silver Reef Casino Resort, located off I-5 exit 260.
You're losing your hair and you simply need a solution that works. You want the best. Modern technology, top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need world-class Dr. Perungo and his team at Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair has completely redefined hair restoration. From the experience itself to their unmatched results. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, maybe all three like I had. Get your hair back with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment that begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. For your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. Right now, you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Refine your hairline with the team that redefined hair restoration. That's 425-449-8185. Or for the before and afters, visit advancedhair.com.
Our friends at Mazda of Everett always offer you their best deals. Mazda of Everett is the West Coast's largest Mazda dealer for a reason. They sell more new Mazdas than any other dealer on the West Coast. So come check out the Mazda More to Move You sales event now. Shop over 300 new Mazda CX-5s with 0.9 financing for 60 months, available on approved credit. Located on Highway 99 in Everett, or shop MazdaofEverett.com. Based on Mazda USA's retail sales reports 2025.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
At Les Schwab, we've been changing the tire game for more than 70 years. We design our own exclusive tires to give you more tires made for the roads you drive, less compromise. All backed by America's best tire warranty included in every tire we sell. It's more unbeatable tire warranty, less charging you extra, like the other guys. It's all about you getting more from less. Stop by or book an appointment at leschwab.com.
It's WFC 190 World Fighting Championship at Emerald Queen Casino Event Center. Saturday night, April 25th. Experience the thrill and excitement of high-energy professional mixed martial arts. Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. Don't miss this amazing mixed martial arts event. WFC 190 World Fighting Championship, April 25th. At Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. 21 and older. Need gambling help? Call 800-547-6133 or visit emeraldqueen.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877 Cars for Kids to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now or call 877 Cars for Kids to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bump and Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Reek, Woolen, and Rashid Shaheed gave separate interviews, and I want to hear what they had to say, so let's take a listen. Obviously, they
You're not the only one who wants to hear. I want to hear
Bump
too.
wants to hear too. Bump wants to hear. So I will make sure to include you. Sorry.
So he's like, nah, hey, none of y'all, not Bump. I want to hear.
For some reason, for no reason, I almost brought up Weapons again.
It was a good movie.
Thank you. I'm glad you like it.
Yeah.
Okay. Rashid Shaheed was a guest on NFL Network's NFL Insider show, asked if talks with the Seahawks have started.
Absolutely, yeah. Conversations are definitely going to be heating up, definitely towards March. But I would love to come back. I love my, experience here. I'm loving the Pacific Northwest, and obviously the organization is second to none. And I kind of want to run it back. We just won a Super Bowl, so why not?
We'd love for you to run it back, Rashid. Why not? Would you be willing to take a discount? That is what I'm wondering.
That was Rashid, right?
That was Rashid.
Yeah. Why wouldn't he want to run it back?
Yeah.
He's comfy here. He feels like he's comfortable here. When he talks to the media, obviously you have success with the organization. You want to try to run it back. And it all sounds good. Like want and what you're going to do are two different things. You want to be here, but there might be a team that wants you more than the Hawks want you, or are more willing to pay you more. So, yeah, I don't doubt that he wants to be here. But in the day, who's going to sign the bigger check? And what's the gap? Like, what's the biggest gap he'll take? Like, if it's a couple $1 million, is he saying, all right, cool, I'm good? It's me not making millions of dollars a year. I cannot fathom myself saying, $2 million less? Nah, it's cool, I'll stay here. I'm like, no, I want all the money I can get.
Well, and that's why I try to, and I know you do too, kind of hit pause when I go like a hometown discount or do whatever, because it's like, look, imagine if your earning ability fell off a cliff after 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Most guys in the NFL, average career is 3 years or something like that.
Yep.
You go longer than that, fantastic. But make all the money you possibly can right now, because you're not making this money at 50. You're not making this money at 40 when the rest of us still get to work, right?
Yeah.
Now, we aren't touching that money, but far be it from me to judge anyone's choices when they're at their peak earning potential. I do wonder if consideration of taking some kind of discount comes into this for Rashid, because you asked Joel Corey this question. It was great. There might be a team out there willing to pay him hey, you're this speedy receiver that's going to be central to our offense. Whereas for Seattle, his biggest impact was as a returner, and they may not need to pay him for that kind of role.
That's the thing. I don't think he is a central to our offense type of receiver.
Yeah.
I think he's a number two, a really good number two, a number two that has one of the best tricks in the game, which is being fast and running behind you. But a number one receiver got to be able to, that route tree got to be wide open. He can run routes, you know what I'm saying? But if you just compare him to other number ones, then he's that, we talk about a 1-2 back combo. He needs a 1-2 receiver combo.
Well, and look, I know that you talked the other day about the Chiefs probably entertaining re-signing Tyreek Hill. If they can't get Tyreek, or if the number isn't right, maybe they look at a guy like Rashid.
Yeah.
And they go, hey, you are really fast.
Mm-hmm.
We could use you on special teams and also as a downfield option for the best quarterback in football.
Yeah.
Want to come here?
Jason can carry a receiving core, right? We've learned that this year. And to be able to do that, you have to be able to line up in the slot, outside, in the backfield. You got to be able to run every single route.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just his game. He's more of an all-around type of dude. I think Rashid is one of the most potent threats in the game right now for sure. But he needs a Batman.
Newsworthy in that I think it's good to hear that he says he absolutely would love to come back to Seattle, would love to run it back. Why not? So that's with Rashid. Moving on to Woolen. He spoke to Sirius XM's NFL radio. First, talked about just what this year felt like. Don't forget, he was the subject to a lot of trade rumors.
Kind of weird, just because early in the season, I had the whole trade rumor thing and the whole trade thing going on. So right then and there, it was a chance that I was may or may not, or unsure of what to be with this team. But then after that passed by, and I was blessed enough to still be with this team, it just felt good to just be in the moment, enjoy it. But I always knew the time would come just because my contract was ending, the whole trade thing was happening, and, free agency was coming up. But other than that, I just did the best I could do in my situation and be a great teammate, and help us, reach the Super Bowl and get a win there. So that's why I just did best.
Different experience this year for these two guys, Bump. Rashid Shaheed only has half a season, comes here at the trade deadline, and he can do no wrong. Oh my God, Rashid, you're amazing. We love you. Like you're exactly what this team needs. You were like a bonus piece.
Yeah.
Reek, on the bad end of some big plays, people were talking about trading him midseason, and you're hearing those rumors.
Yeah, he heard it. I mean, he's on social media. He watches TV. His boys kind of,
I'm sure, tag him in things.
And they're in his ear, let him know what's going on. And that's why what he did was so impressive this year, because you go through that. You go through times where You're not looking your greatest. You start the season, and he wasn't even a starter, right? He wasn't even start. He was coming off the bench and slowly working his way into the rotation. This is a guy who was a Pro Bowler. This is a guy who showed all the promise in the world. And you start the season off rough, and you bounce back. You have the mental toughness to bounce back and just play your game and become an important part of this defense. So good for him. He's been through this already a few months ago. So he knows what this game is. And same thing with him. I think he wants to be back. I think he likes it here. I think the fans have re-embraced this guy when it comes to his performance on the field and who he is. End of the day, somebody coming a bigger check, you got to consider. What'd you say yesterday? The Jets? Someone said he'd be a good fit for the Jets.
Matt Bowen of ESPN said that he likes Reek Woolen as a fit for the Jets and free agency.
Fit for the Jets. Him and Sauce would be kind of nice, though.
Well, Sauce now with Indy, so replacing that void left by. Also, Reek Woolen, this is the most important two cuts I'm going to play. Very interested in exploring free agency.
I just leave that between my agent and, Seattle, man. I know that they have talks and whatever they talk about. I just leave it to them. But, it's free agency, man, and I know the realistic and, chances of things. I know there's a chance I may be in Seattle. I know there's a chance I may not, be in Seattle. But, I'm prepared for what's to come. And, at the same time, no matter what I do, I got to be able to play ball and come prepared, and I will be. And I will come as a great player just like how I've been doing.
One more here.
It's exciting just because I know the work I put in. I feel like I've done great, and I know the type of player I am. I know I can help a locker room. I know wherever I go, the people will love me there. The fans will love me there. Just like Seattle do, the fans love me here. So, I'm not worried. I know it's a blessing. Wherever I go, I know I'll be able to contribute, and I know that whoever invests in me, they'll get the best player they're investing in.
Those are two very different tones with these answers. Rashid, not outright saying, yes, I'm coming back, but saying, would love to. I've loved my time in Seattle. Why would I not? Reek Woolen saying, hey, there were times it was tough. I've enjoyed Seattle, but I'm very excited to hit free agency. Yeah. And I know no matter where I go, importantly, I'm going to do a great job. That's someone willing to hear some bargains.
Yeah, you have to be willing to listen. You have to be. I think the thing with Rashid Shaheed is that he's been somewhere before where it wasn't great.
Yeah,
he's been to New Orleans. He's saying, look, I've been places where the organization is jacked up, the team ain't good, there's no chance of winning. I'm literally going out there and just playing for myself. Where Reek is saying, all right, I've been here. I felt like I haven't been appreciated. I have won a Super Bowl. Let's see what anyone else thinks of me. Here's PFF. When it comes to help the argument, I love to use it. All right, they got Reek ranked as the 9th best corner in the game right now. Nice. So you got Spoon at 5, you got Reek at 9. Say what you want about it. I know someone texted in too many mental errors from Reek. I doubt you really understand what the mental errors are for him. I don't think you clearly understand. I'm not saying you don't watch football, you don't know it, but even me, when I watch the film, I don't 100% know what he's being coached to do. So I wouldn't say that. If anything, I would say physical errors. There have been times where he's in position and he doesn't make the play. Mental errors, none of us know enough about what they're being taught to 100% know that every play that he's made or didn't make was a mental error.
Spotrac has, and who knows if he commands more than this, they have a market value, this is average annual value, yearly, for Reek Woolen at 8.1. I think he could get more than that.
I think so, too.
I just think he has the physical weapons, the size-speed combo to be a little close. They have Josh Jobe at 9.7. I think that Reek can push that number. So it certainly feels like the Seahawks will not be keeping both Jobe and Woolen, if one at all.
Yeah.
So again, not the top market value for corners. Wright, Watson, Dean rounding out that list, and then Alontae Taylor coming in with about 11.1. But still something to consider there. And again, I think he can get more than 8.1. But I'm no contract expert, so we'll see what happens. But again, that's the latest from both Seahawks set to hit free agency. Rashid Shaheed on with NFL Network, Reek Woolen on with SiriusXM, sounding very open to exploring free agency. The latter, that is. The two Mariners we're most intrigued by right now. That's coming up next on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Brock and Salk on the home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Just thinking back on Sam Darnold.
That first impression of Sam in April, the Mike McDonald got, the John Schneider got, was like, ooh, yeah, this is everything we wanted. This is the humble guy. This is the guy that's using his scars and his experience to not be bitter and to not be selfish, but to actually be humble and pick everybody else up. They knew it in April, Salk.
Morning 6 to 10, only on Seattle Sports.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today. It's not just about better health, it's about a better life.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
See your favorite Seattle Mariners up close at the Peoria Sports Complex. Come to sunny and warm Peoria, Arizona to celebrate an AL West championship and the beginning of another great season for your Mariners. Spring training in Peoria has plenty of sunshine, warm temperatures, great food, and the best seats in baseball. It's family fun for fans of all ages. Book your trip today. Support your 2026 Seattle Mariners in Arizona for what promises to be another exciting season. Get your tickets at PeoriaBaseball.com.
Why does it matter to members that Aetna was named a Best Medicare Advantage company by U.S. News & World Report? Because they chose a plan that gives them real support, real people, and real care. We show up with care management that ensures doctors work together on complicated conditions. We show up with the latest in online tools to make healthcare easier to use anytime. We don't show up for awards. We show up for you. And showing up for you is how healthier happens together.
Gold demand is skyrocketing to record highs. As more Americans rush to preserve their savings, will there be enough gold? I'm Dr. Ron Paul, and I believe physical gold is the only way to truly protect your 401k or IRA savings. Gold offers tangible security that can't be tracked, stolen, or inflated. That's why I strongly advocate for gold IRAs. To learn more, text the word SECURE to 989898 now. Birch Gold Group will send you a free info kit on gold IRAs. Birch Gold is the only gold company I trust, and their thousands of great reviews prove I'm not alone. So don't wait another second. Protect your retirement savings today and see how easy it is to move your IRA or 401k into physical precious metals. Text SECURE to the number 989898 for your free gold IRA info kit. Again, SECURE to 989898.
Message and data rates may apply.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for honest pricing, expert service, and guaranteed repairs. This dedication has earned them a Carfax Preferred designation. At Bucky's, every customer gets detailed Carfax updates, timely service reminders, and a full service history all at your fingertips. With 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, and easy financing, Bucky's makes auto care simple. Visit Bucky's.com today and drive with confidence. Bucky's.com.
The celebration continues.
We never wavered, man. We believed in each other. We loved each other.
On the home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
I'm Chris Davis, former King County prosecutor and founder of the Davis Law Group in Seattle. If you've been injured in a crash caused by impaired or drunk drivers, there are special considerations that need to be taken to protect your legal rights. Davis Law Group's team of investigators and lawyers know how to properly investigate DUI crashes and identify all parties who might be legally responsible for your injuries and damages. Call Davis Law Group at 206-888-8888 or get my free book at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
It's WFC 190 World Fighting Championship at Emerald Queen Casino Event Center. Saturday night, April 25th. Experience the thrill and excitement of high-energy professional mixed martial arts. Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. Don't miss this amazing mixed martial arts event. WFC 190 World Fighting Championship, April 25th. at Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
21 and older. Need gambling help? Call 800-547-6133 or visit emeraldqueen.com.
Heritage Mechanical reminds listeners suicide is one of the leading causes of death in our country, and we lose nearly 50,000 people every year. Signs include withdrawing from friends, extreme mood swings, or drug and alcohol use. If you or a loved one are feeling trapped, lonely, or hopeless, there is help available. Please call or text the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline anytime to reach someone who cares. A heartfelt message from Heritage Mechanical and Auto Repair. Family owned since 1998 in loving memory of Osha Hagen.
Life's expensive enough, isn't it? Groceries, gas, kids' activities. Sometimes your roof needs replacing, but your budget says not now. Hi, I'm Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. We want to help with an offer to lift that weight off your shoulders. Get 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. Or save up to $3,000 on a new roof today. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Which Mariner are you most intrigued about right now? Like maybe you heard that and you thought, well, obviously Cal Raleigh, duh.
Clearly.
He's coming off a historic season. Maybe you heard that and you thought, well, God, Julio Rodriguez, the ceiling is insanely high and you know, he's maturing even more every year and it's so cool to see. My answer to this right now is Josh Naylor, and he is not your single best bat, but I am so intrigued by what he does for the clubhouse attitude and culture. Not that it was bad before, but he's just got a really intense competitiveness in a way that's palatable. It's not too much.
Right.
And I think that comes from a very sincere love of baseball. And I just read this column in the Seattle Times, and it was fantastic. They got a couple right now. The one I read was from Adam Jude, but I saw a few by the entire staff just profiling all the players heading into spring training. Great stuff. And I'm just so intrigued by what a full season of Josh Naylor looks like. And there were a couple quotes in it about moments where, let's say, Munoz is getting ready for record save and Josh is like, so what do you have planned later? Just like a really good temperature check.
I remember
ability.
I think it was Munoz was on the mound. Naylor was out there. He looks over to him and Naylor was just like getting him to calm down, like, hey, it's good.
Yeah, like
calm down. We all right.
That's
we
the
got
kind
you.
of stuff that I'm really intrigued about. Yes, I'm intrigued to see, can he steal as many bases? Like, yeah, like I have those questions. But man, like he became a fan favorite very quickly for a reason.
Yeah.
And it's because he brought, I like that word, a really palatable intensity. An intensity that's not offensive and in your face.
Mm-hmm.
It's just from a pure love of the game and an understanding of what players need. And I think that's amazing. I'm so intrigued to see it. Cal Raleigh on the hot stove talked about the best traits that Josh brings to the clubhouse.
Yeah, he brings a confidence to the table, that, in a sport of failure and in a sport of, so much that can go wrong, especially from the hitting side. You just, you're constantly having to learn how to deal with failure, and it's a tough game and it's really hard. And he brings a great confidence to the field every day of, not just for himself but for the team. And he exudes that, through everybody. And I think with combining that with his desire and will to win, it makes it very refreshing, and that's somebody I want to go to war with. That's somebody I want to play next to every single day, because I never have to question if he's going to be ready or if he's going to be giving it his all each day. We all know he's doing that, and the fact that it's shining through other players is definitely positive.
It's not just fans that see it. It's clearly Cal and the guys up front and close. So my answer to this one is Josh Naylor. What about you? The most intriguing Mariner right now?
Yeah, I like Josh Naylor. But I went with the new guy. I went with Donovan, man, just because, believe it or not, Stacy, I did not watch a lot of Cardinals games last year. Didn't do it.
Not a big St. Louis fan?
A lot of baseball out there.
Wow.
Wasn't focused on the Cardinals. So since football season officially ended, every day I tell myself, okay, let's read up on him. Let's get to know him a bit more, because I knew nothing about him. I knew that he was a guy who can play multiple positions, and I knew he was a guy that hit for contact. And the more I read about him, the more I like him. He hardly hits pop-ups. That was one of the things I read in the articles, that he hardly hits pop-ups, man. And he takes care of the breaking balls outside of the bottom of the zone, and he takes care of the heaters up top, right? As bad as good. It says he doesn't ground into double plays. The 10th fewest in the game last year, only 4 last year, right? So, and that's something I felt like for some reason. I felt like the Mariners hit into double plays a lot. And I looked them up. It was like 19th most. For some reason,
it felt different.
It felt like they
that
were
felt
just,
right.
that's just something they did.
The stats on that are wrong. They're second.
Right? There's something wrong with that stat. And when I go, all right, well, he doesn't do that. Also, his K rate is down around, 13%. Him and Naylor around the same. That's like top 20, 15 in the game. So the more I read about him, the more I understand him, because I feel like you can put him at the top of the order if you want to. Take some pressure off of Julio, even though I want Julio to get as many ABs as possible. But you can move him around in the top 4, 5 spots in that order and feel fine. You can also move him around in the infield, even in the outfield if you need him to play out there. So it's just the versatility that he brings, and it's a different type of profile than what we've been used to, at least especially last season. So, no, the more I read about him, the more I understand him, who he is as a player, and the more I see where he fits. Also, they said his personality is perfect for Seattle. I hear he's a leader.
Yeah.
I believe he has long hair, right? Real Northwest of him.
Don't care.
Long hair, don't care. Real Northwest. So I'm not. It's all good things. Obviously, when I'm reading these things, it's going to be Mariner bias, and they're not going to point out some of the shortcomings. But when you look at his slash over the past few years, look at his metrics, he's just a solid all-around ball player, and that was needed.
Well, look, every Mariners fan is going to want to hear that the guys that they just added are great. But, I mean, take it from a St. Louis fan. Michelle Smallman, I don't know if you guys watch or listen to Unsportsmanlike on ESPN and ESPN Radio. She's one of the hosts. She joined us on Radio Row, and before we went on air, we told her during the break, hey, we do have questions about the Super Bowl, but we know you're from St. Louis. Can we please ask you, we're so sorry, about Brendan Donovan? And she was like, oh, I'm devastated, but yes. Yeah. So then when we went on air, we got in that question.
When I think of St. Louis Cardinals baseball, I think about guys like Brendan Donovan. Of course, people are going to think about Albert Pujols and Yadier Molina and the Adam Wainwrights and Chris Carpenters of the world of star power. But the reason the Cardinals were able to be contenders for so long is because of guys like Brendan Donovan, a guy who is so sharp and versatile defensively, a guy who is disciplined at the plate, a guy who works on his craft. He is the ultimate team player. He's so gritty. I hate that word, but it really is who he is. And I just think he's going to fit in with your squad so well and be a great addition. And I'm so bummed out that the Cardinals moved on from him.
Oh, a ton of defensive versatility, really, really sharp, like really gritty and really disciplined at the plate. That sounds like something I would have loved to have in the ALCS.
Yeah, would have been nice.
Yeah.
Would have been nice.
I mean, you did have it sometimes, but it's just the little piece that gets you over the top.
The consistency of it. I think that's what we've been missing. I mean, we had Rivas win a game, maybe a couple games Rivas. We've had Cole Young win a game. It feels like the glue pieces that you needed kept showing up in different players, which is fine. Like, you want players to have their turn, but you also want someone near wherever you put them, but who's not a star, the Julio, the Cows, or whoever. You also want someone that you feel like you can count on. You need that Derek Fisher back in the day with the Lakers, right? D. Fish wasn't going to light you up, but he was going to be consistent. You know you can count on him. He'll be clutch. I think that's what Donovan could be.
253 says, I would go with their answer for most intriguing Mariner with Tucker, the Mariners pup. Can I say something?
Of course.
Is this a safe space where I can say something
Sometimes,
that's a little...
Go for it.
I worry about how many treats Tucker is being given. I have read most recently in the Times, but so many articles. Daniel Kramer had another one about Tucker being given treats. Rick's giving him treats. Josh Naylor is giving him treats. Who knows who else is giving Tucker treats? But you know what?
He's running, though.
He's
burning those calories.
I'm just saying, as the daughter of a woman who made her dog pancakes for breakfast.
You made him pancakes?
No, I didn't. My mom made our family dog, who she got at the worst time possible, which is when I went to college. She would make him pancakes.
Like human
treats,
pancakes.
Like human pancakes.
Wow.
And no one judge her, okay?
Nah,
she was a
that's
mom.
old
This
school.
is empty nesting.
That's old school.
Yeah, it wasn't the best thing, but that dog.
The dog was happy, though.
Was massive. And I worry for Tucker. I want to make sure he's out there running, working those hips.
He's running.
Because that's a lot of treats.
It is.
And that can be a slippery slope, is all I'm saying. Next thing you know, Josh Naylor's going to be making him pancakes. I caution against it. What other NFL teams could learn about the Seahawks drafting over the last few years? That's coming up next on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
I know the paint's barely dry on the new Super Bowl champ Seahawks gear, but can you believe Mariners pitchers and catchers have already reported and spring training is underway?
Holy catfish, that was fast.
They know from day one of spring training, they have a chance to win the whole thing.
Follow how the 2026 Mariners come together at seattlesports.com. We're the home of your American League West champion Mariners.
Holy smokes.
Seattle Sports.
For 24 years, Sea Star Restaurant and Ron Bar has been Bellevue's and my go-to for fresh seasonal seafood. Hey, this is Brock Heward, and what I love is being able to count on my good friend, Chef John Howie's reputation for excellence behind every plate. Whether it's local oysters, sushi, cedar plank salmon, Dungeness crab bisque, generous portions with true value, and every detail is cared for. Whether it's a date night, a business dinner, or catching up with friends and family, Sea Star is the dining experience you remember. SeaStarRestaurant.com.
Good Dog Auto Glass. When the stakes are high, you want the best on your team. When your windshield breaks, don't settle for your insurance company's fix that's just safe enough. Trust Good Dog Auto Glass, where the quality isn't light. We do all the things the little guys don't, and we do all the things the big guy does.
We answer the phone when you call, we work for you, and we will walk you through the insurance process. Visit GoodDogAutoGlass.com, Puget Sound's most trusted auto glass company, and get more bang for your bark.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first, on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home for you so you attract the right buyers. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
Experience a luxury resort, breathtaking wildlife, spectacular wilderness, and amazing fishing at Queen Charlotte Lodge in northern British Columbia. King salmon runs are at their peak in May and June, and halibut and lingcod are always plentiful. Check out how easy it is to visit QCL at fishqcl.com. That's fishqcl.com. Queen Charlotte Lodge. Experience fishing first class. And remember, our dollar's worth $1.35 north of the border.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
I'm Bradley Johnson with 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Let's talk about artificial intelligence.
I cannot answer that.
Many professions are using it, and allegedly some are even being taken over by it. At 1-800-DUI-AWAY, we know police are leveraging AI, whether it's analyzing body cam footage, reading license plates, or even facial recognition. AI has become a helpful tool, enabling officers to work more efficiently. And efficiency for them means more people getting pulled over. You can't ChatGPT your way out of a high BAC. Getting legal advice from AI is no substitute for an attorney. Use AI correctly, or it can result in trouble, like a self-driving car taking you home from a bar.
You have reached your destination.
So call 1-800-DUI-AWAY or go to 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com. If you get pulled over for DUI, the only thing you need your smart device to do is call 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
1-800-DUI-AWAY! Let's talk about your hair. Well, maybe after we talk about my hair. I've got great hair, as you know, and it's because of Advanced Hair. Yep, Advanced Hair Restoration. Their simple one-day treatment offers life-changing results that I can attest to. Guys, it's not magic, but it's close to it. They put hair where you need it most, and bam, it grows. It's actual science. Advanced Hair has top-rated physicians, modern technology, and best of all, you get your very own natural hair that begins to regrow the very next day. It's even guaranteed to grow for life. So schedule your free consultation now at 425-449-8185. Mention Curly to qualify for $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. It's a limited time offer. Advanced Hair, the winner of the 425 Business of the Year, and the team that gave me my hair back. More importantly, they'll do the same for you, guaranteed. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest. This is the power of 12 is 1, man.
KIRO AM Seattle and KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The John Schneider Show returns today at 4 p.m. on Wyman and Bob. Hear the latest in an exclusive interview with the GM of the Super Bowl winning Seahawks as Seattle prepares for the Combine, free agency, and the draft. All episodes will be available on the Seattle Sports app and Seattle Sports YouTube page and will air live on 7:10 a.m. on Thursdays. Coming up at noon today, new Seahawks OC Brian Fleury will have his introductory press conference. We'll be airing that live right here on Seattle Sports.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. Bump, I'm upset.
Why are you upset,
With
Stacey?
you.
What did I do? You know, I hate that. It's like you're dating somebody who's like, can we talk? You got time today? I think it's funny how this is the way that this feels right now. So what's going on?
I'm upset that you have spawned a trend of people calling my innocent sweet boy Dookie.
Dookie.
His name is Lukey.
That's how we show love, though.
His name is Lukey.
Is we make fun, we poke.
You keep calling him Dookie.
Young Dookie.
Curtis calls him Dookie. Now Sam calls him Dookie. And a texter just texted in, and when I was joking about my parents feeding the dog, they said, are your parents raccoons? Do they get more snacks than Dookie? Now a listener is calling him Dookie.
You know
His
funny?
name is Lukey.
It's fun about dogs' names. I've tested this theory with the 3 dogs that I've had in my life, right?
Yeah.
One name was Happy, one was Angel, and one was Cinco. They don't really know their names. They just listen for sounds.
Mm-hmm.
So for Happy, he's a mess with, yeah, he coming. Angel, Lalo, coming. Cinco, Rino. They just listen for a sound. So I guarantee you, if I call Dookie, he is running.
He's so upset. He probably is. My sister, when she watched him for the Super Bowl, kept calling him that. And she was like, yeah, he responds to it.
Yeah, this is for the sounds,
No,
man. They don't know their names like
stop
that.
it. Speaking of mispronouncing names, did you see that Drewski, did you guys see this? Drewski says he reached out to JSN to try to apologize and didn't hear back.
I didn't see that.
So
I wouldn't write
Good
back
on
neither.
JSN.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and as part of what Drewski said, he goes, the name is hard to pronounce, but I get it, and I reached out. Pause. You didn't even make a sincere effort. You
Nah.
immediately turned it into a joke. You don't
Yeah.
get to say, as part of your apology, well, the name is hard to pronounce.
Look, my biggest Super Bowl flex, all right, it was not meeting Louis Riddick, not Tony Gonzalez, not any other famous people we met. It is sitting down with JSN's mom, and she was hot at Drewski mess with.
Don't blame her.
Hot.
Yeah.
And I was right there with her. I go, yeah, I'm with you, Ma.
Yep.
Don't mess with nobody's name.
So Drewski says he hasn't heard back from JSN or back from anyone. So I don't know. Sometimes that's what an apology is. You don't get to hear back, and you don't get to have someone say, it's okay. All is forgiven. Stop calling him Dookie. No.
Hey, someone called him Pookie.
Pookie's fine. His name's Lukey. What other NFL teams can learn about the Seahawks drafting over the past few years? Mel Kiper was just talking about these lessons.
Well, I think, and just to go to Seattle, Rich, how about Nick Emanwari?
Right.
John Schneider gets him in the early second. You're at the Combine, right? Didn't Emanwari have an unbelievable Combine?
He
We're on the heels of a really good year.
Yep.
So you got the production, the performance, the tape, and the great. He went in the second round, Rich. So this notion that if you're great at the Combine, you had a heck of a year, you're going to get this big bump up. Nick Emanwari went in the second round, and he was a key guy on the defense side, one of the best defensive rookies in the league. So for me, hey, the combine, Jacob Parrish dropped to the third round. He had a great combine out of Kansas State, went in the third round at Tampa Bay, great year. Kyle Hamilton didn't run great, dropped to 14. So I always say there's nothing automatic about good or bad at the combine, pro days. Like I say, nothing you can mark down and say this is going to happen based on that, because we get surprises every year.
So that in particular was talking about Emanwari slipping and says, hey, there's a lesson to be learned from the Seahawks decision to roll with him. But let's expand it to just like draft lessons in general that other teams can learn from the Seahawks, who ironically were kind of criticized for a period of drafts, including I was criticizing them too, but have really been successful over the last several years. What's the lesson that you think that people could learn? That you have to look. The testing is fine. It's a way to separate money, to try to classify guys. Like you don't necessarily need the combine, but they use the combine. Me personally, watch the dang film. Can they ball? Hardly are going to see a guy run 40 yards straight without having to make any type of movement when they run. Hardly are going to see a guy so open that he have to worry about a second-level release or a move off the line. All these drills, they're all glorified. It shows speed, I guess. You can use that. I think, if anything, the combine, when it comes to the 40s, who I like watching the most are the big boys, their first 10 yards. Because I think that tells me a lot about a offensive lineman than watching a receiver run a 40-yard dash. I just want to see, can the big boy get up and can he move? Then you look at all this other stuff. All right, let's look at the top 5 fastest 40 times ever. Xavier Worthy last year ran a 4.21, had an okay year. John Ross. Oh, I knew that. Your boy. I knew it was 2017, 4.22, had maybe 2 good games in the league. One was against us. Always hurt. Tedrick Thompson. Yeah. In 2022, Kalen Barnes, DB, not sure what his career looks like. Maybe he's doing okay, but he's not an all-pro type of dude. Last one, 1999, 4.24, Rondell Menendez. Have no idea who that guy is. Maybe he had a decent career. But I just point that out to say, it's not football. It's not real. So, yes, Nick Emanwari's numbers are crazy at the combine. Mm-hmm. Crazy. But when I match his crazy numbers with his film, it made sense to me. Yeah. I'm like, this dude is a first rounder for sure. But for some reason, and then it comes to necessities. What do teams need at that time when it's their turn to pick? Guys, they need a safety for some reason. Or maybe they didn't value him. Maybe they looked at the film differently than what I looked at. And that's the thing, too, is that you and I can look at film as scouts and see 2 totally different things. You might like his hips. I might not like his hips. You might think he attacks the football. I think he's okay attacking the football. Human error is everywhere throughout this whole thing. I really like that point about need and what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of talent. That's something that John Schneider talked about a lot in 2024, and then certainly last year on with Wyman and Bob for the John Schneider Show. When he was asked, what lessons have you learned? All of us assumed he was talking about LJ Collier. Mm-hmm. But he said, look, there have been times, I'm paraphrasing, when we went with a guy that in the first round or second round that had a second or third round grade because we needed that position and we knew that there was a drop-off. I think the reason people assume that was about LJ Collier is because he went higher than people expected, a late first-round pick. And the Seahawks needed a defensive lineman, and there was going to be kind of a drop-off. There was a run on defensive lineman there. There was going to be kind of a drop-off in the second when the Seahawks, or were they not picking until the third again? I don't know. It was kind of now or never if you wanted to fill that position with the best for that position. Right. But was it the best talent available? Probably not. I wonder if John Schneider looks back at 2019 and goes, God, we needed a defensive lineman, but Deebo Samuel was right there. Yeah. And Mecole Hardman was right there. And whoever else, A.J. Brown was right there. And we ended up passing on wide receivers because we felt we didn't need a receiver or that receiver wasn't as important. What if instead I just went with the amazing player? Like, need is part of the process. If you have no depth somewhere, you need to add there. Mm-hmm. But don't pass over guys where it's like, no, this guy's got like Pro Bowl potential, all pro potential, just because you think you don't need him. And I wonder if Emanwari's, the selection of him was also responding to that too, because you didn't have massive safety concerns. No, and I think John Schneider has mentioned that too, that they stopped going for need and really just the best player available. Mm-hmm. Like if you look at when JSN was drafted, DK Metcalf was on top of his game.
right? I believe he was coming off 1,000-yard. When did he get drafted? 02? Jason, 2, 3, 4. No,
23.
23, right? So I'm just gonna pull up stats from 22 when it comes to DK Metcalf. DK went for 1,000 yards. Tyler Lockett has gone for 1,000 yards. You kind of see the writing on the wall with Tyler Lockett, but you think you have a number one receiver. Receiver wasn't a need at that point, but he was the best available prospect. And then I want to say Witherspoon, it was kind of the same feel. People were surprised when you drafted Witherspoon. Charles Cross made the most sense picking him at 9.
Yeah.
And Zabel made sense picking him at 18. But those two were the ones where you kind of saw the shift in what John Schneider likes to do and say, I'm just going to get the best guy available.
Well, yeah, I like that you mentioned the Zabel one because Cross was certainly like, hey, we need a left tackle. We have pick number 9. Let's take a tackle. Zabel was like hey, they definitely need this. This guy's really intriguing.
We usually don't draft guards this high, too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that was also like a be willing to challenge your own trends kind of lesson to learn. It's like, hey, you don't have to suddenly decide that you're drafting interior offensive linemen, top 15 all the time. I know he was 18, but be willing to challenge your rules about the draft when your other approaches aren't working.
You know what? That's like, because when I go shopping, I will buy white, black, and gray clothes all day. Like, that's my comfort zone when it comes to shopping with shoes and all that stuff. I got to force myself to get out of it. Like, I bought like a forest green sweater the other day and some shoes to match, and I go, look at me. Getting out of my trends. Getting out of them.
Forest green's so in right now, and chocolate brown.
That's my son's favorite color. I asked him what his favorite color was.
Also, navy's making a resurgence. I don't know if anyone's kind of keeping an eye on things.
I just wear what I like.
Yeah.
But it's hard to do that. And John Schneider has drafted a certain way for so long. It's like I've worn the same kind of clothes for so long. It's tough to get out of there, man. So, yes. And I wonder what other influences, right? What other voices did he listen to help him kind of change the way that he does things? Whatever it is, maybe it's Mike McDonald that helped. Maybe it's someone in the scouting department. Maybe it's him just sitting back and reflecting and looking at everything that's happened. Maybe it's all the above, probably all the above. But it seems to be working out. And that's what's going to make this one even more interesting because you don't have a top 5 pick. You don't have it.
I liked this cut. I don't know that there's like an exact lesson here. I just thought it was interesting. And this was from 2023's John Schneider show, so I had forgotten about it. It's John Schneider talking about one lesson he learned, and it was to stop visiting schools.
A lot of the scouts get to go in there, like twice, 3 times to a school, 2-3 times a year. And, when you just cruise in there once, they know the general manager's coming in there. The guys kind of, the people at the schools tend to kind of just, tell you want to hear. Sometimes, and I've made some mistakes where, I've kind of overruled a couple guys because I did the school call as well. Now, you're talking about watching film, and that's really like, that's the basis of what I do when I get off course. What brings me back is like really, getting back into grinder mode and studying the film and studying the person or studying the player. So now I'm relying on the scouts more than I used to just, tell me about the player. So I study all the players as much as I possibly can, all the schools as much as I possibly can. And I don't get into the character until, like what our pre-combine meetings like about a month ago. So the area guys present the player, and now I'm hearing it for the first time. I don't have a preconceived notion of who the person is based on my personal experience of going into the school.
Okay, so I liked 2 things about this. One was learning everything possible about the player on film and everything to keep that from being shaped by something else. The character matters, right? But and the second was when you go in as a GM, everyone's on their best behavior. And then when you use your interaction with someone to overrule a scout that says like, man, I did not have the same experience. Well, maybe your experience isn't as valid as that scout.
Yeah, because I feel like people are more authentic when it's just Lil Bobby's uncle who no one knows who's coming to scout you.
Or they're worse.
Yeah. And when the GM is there, you better be on your best behavior, The school's job is to promote their player, right? It's to uplift them. It's to paint the prettiest version they can of this guy. I think they will throw in some red flags, but they're not throwing in as many as they possibly could because they want to help this young man get to the next level. You know what's crazy? I've never turned down a reference when someone's asked me to reference them in their resume. And there have been some dudes where I'm like, I ain't gonna give them the best reference, but I'm still gonna give them a reference. You know what I mean? Like, because you have that connection to that person, and you don't want to be a negative influence on them reaching their goals and their dreams. Right now, I've given some just basic reference, but I'm not just going to poop on it. I think that's the same thing that happens with these universities, that you're emotionally connected to these players, especially, a place like South Carolina. They love Nick Mawari. Now, granted, I'm sure he had all his references were on point. He seems like a good person, but yeah, it can get diluted. Like, you have to rely on your scouts, and it sounds like that's something John Schneider's leaned into.
All right, last one here. This is what Louis Riddick told us when we were out at Radio Row. He's a massive fan of John Schneider, knows John Schneider, and had high praise for his valuation.
And as the GM, you're trying to figure out, okay, well, what price do I need to pay to get these guys, whether it be in free agency or the draft, meaning the valuation part of it. John's become very good at that, being able to read draft boards, understand where he can select players, what rounds he needs to go to select players. As Jimmy Johnson used to say all the time, look, the draft is just about getting in position to get the people that you want. And you got to be able to read the market. John's done a really good job of that. And obviously he develops great relationships with his coaches, whether it be, with Mike Holmgren back in the day when he was in Green Bay, or with Pete Carroll, or now with Mike. And he's finding the kind of players that these coaches want. He's paying good prices for them.
That feels like another note about Mawari, too. Get yourself in the position to get the players you want in the draft, and also work with your coach to get the players that make their system successful.
Yeah, it sounds complicated. You got to be in position.
That part I don't know.
It's
I don't get it's above my pay grade.
You're at 32, at pick 32. What really are you looking at pick 32? It's still a first-round pick, obviously, towards the end of it. You got Mawari at 33, the next pick, so you can
32, 34, yeah.
34?
I think.
So you can find those, I wouldn't even call Mawari a diamond in the rough. He was a diamond that nobody paid attention to for some reason.
He was a borderline first-rounder.
Yeah, it should have been a first-rounder.
Him, Judkins, Schlesinger.
Yeah. So I think this is going to be one of the harder drafts for these guys, because obviously when you win the Super Bowl, you get the last pick in the draft, and the talent is a bit different when it comes to that. But I also feel like they're comfortable in those positions because they find those type of guys.
Let's get to 4 down territory.
This is 4 down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down, Bump, another coaching move. Tell us about our newly promoted run game coordinator, Justin Otten.
Listen, Stace, I'm not going to lie. I was looking up and I go, man, I'm going to find some great things, awesome things about our guy, Otten. He was the OC in Denver. 21st overall in offense, 19 passing, 21st running, last in scoring. But his quarterback was Russell Wilson during that whole crazy time. Third down percentage, they were last. Passing attempts, they were 17. Rush per attempt, they were 17. It didn't look good when you look at him when it comes to the numbers. But then you look at just the places that he has been. Okay, he is a well-versed coach. He worked for the Falcons as an intern. He was offensive assistant for the Falcons. He was a tight ends coach for the Green Bay Packers, offensive coordinator for the Broncos, running backs and run game coordinator for the Titans, also tight ends coach for the Titans, run game specialist last year, and offensive assistant coach on that offensive line. So look, there are things that some coaches can't handle, personnel and leadership. And we all know in 2022 with the Denver Broncos, the personnel was not that great, and the leadership wasn't as well. Sometimes you fall victim to that. But if you look at just his recent, assistant job, run game specialist, run game looked pretty good this year. Assistant offensive line coach, offensive line got better and better and better. And a lot of times when you're the assistant to the assistant, you're doing a lot of dirty work with these guys. You're more hands-on. So, I'm going to ignore what happened in Denver. I'm going to say nothing really good happened in 2022 in Denver. I'm going to look at how the offensive line has progressed this year and how good the run game looked. So, Otten, do your thing. Keep it rolling.
Second down. What do you think happens with A.J. Brown?
A.J. Brown, so there are some trade rumors going on, and you tell me if you if I say something you like. All right, Jeremy Fowler says Eagles get a 2026 first-round pick. A.J. goes to the Browns.
Yeah, first-round pick? Yes.
Yeah, but A.J. going to the Browns ain't going to make the Browns contenders. You got to start.
Best of luck, A.J.
You got to start getting talent. I get that, but that ain't it. Dan Graziano says Eagles, 2026 first-round pick. He goes to the Bills.
Oh, that's very intriguing. Yes, absolutely.
Better.
Yeah, they need wide receiver talent badly.
This is the one I like the most. All right, you got Ben Solak, friend of the show. Eagles get 2027 second-round pick.
That feels more believable.
2027 fourth-round pick, conditional third-rounder, and Rashad Bateman Ravens get the Browns. The reason why I like that pick is because Rashid Bateman is a cool number 2 receiver. He's had some big games at him. The guy in Minnesota, he's a big receiver. And AJ goes to a place where he feels like he can win right now. Same conference. I don't know how they feel about that, but I like it. Last one, which I think this one's interesting too. Seth Walder says Eagles, 2026 first-round pick, 2026 third-round pick, 2026 sixth-round pick.
What?
AJ goes to the Browns.
Oh,
I mean,
so
not the
just
Browns.
more
Sorry, excuse me. The Patriots. Goes to the Patriots. This one is intriguing because Diggs isn't the guy he used to be. Booty is a good downfield threat. Hollins is going to be good as a number 2 receiver. You got Douglas over there as well. Got my white son who's fighting for a spot. The Patriots, are they a receiver away from a championship? No, I think you got to work on that O-line. But I like that pick as well. I want to say, but the Baltimore Ravens is my favorite.
Yeah, I like, because Lamar's an exceptional quarterback. I actually like Bills and Pats as the landing spots best. The return, any first-round return is going to be amazing. Obviously, the return you would get from a team like the Browns is massively higher. Though they wouldn't give you their first, right? Do they have multiple firsts? There's no way.
Cool.
They're not going to give like a top 5 pick.
No.
No, absolutely not.
Heck no.
I'm surprised that as many people had him going for a first. Maybe I've just seen too many of the recent. I'm not the expert, they are, but I've just kind of assumed that like seconds is kind of like the gold standard of like, yeah, you'll get second rounders, but AJ's incredibly talented, so yeah, but I like the Bills and Pats the most, I think.
All right.
What's next? Sorry, third down. Sorry. I'm climbing up the leaderboard, I know. Who's a player the Hawks could bring in to compete at guard?
All right, so this guy was a first-round pick a few years back, and he started at tackle. They moved him to guard. Young man out of Alabama. Wasn't activated a single game this year because of hamstring issues. But you look at former first-round pick Evan Neal and say, okay, let's bring you in and have you compete with Anthony Bradford. I think that's what you're doing at this point is you are trying to find any type of experience out there to compete with this young man. Spotrac has him. He's 25 years of age, and his market value is $4.3 million a year. I think this would be worth the swing. The only knock with him is, can he stay healthy? And he didn't shine with the New York Giants, right? He's a first-round pick. Didn't shine over there. Wasn't activated one game this year because of injury. But maybe this is another project that you can bring in, see if he can compete. You can always cut him if it doesn't work out before the season. But it's all about competition, bringing guys in. I would take a strong kick of the tires at Evan Neal and see if he can compete.
Fourth down. I did it right this time. Thank you. What did you hear from Nick Manwari's interview on the pivot that you loved?
It's the same thing I keep hearing about Sam Darnold, but the way he said it made it even more believable, and I think that it is true, that he's just the same all the time, that nothing phases him. He said, man, he jogged off the field after throwing an interception, same demeanor, nothing's changed, still calm, cordial, talking to people, talking about the next drive. And I think that's so important, man. I think that you got to know yourself. I feel like there were times in Sam's life where maybe he did get emotional and then went out there and just lost his mind. The worst game I played, I was a freshman. We played Redondo Beach High School, and I remember sitting on the bench. I knew it was a big game, and I'm just putting so much pressure on myself. I was a quarterback, threw like 3 interceptions, and I knew that me putting that pressure on myself just jacked my head up. With all the ups and downs you have as an athlete, you get to know yourself even more and more. It has to coincide with your personality. I think he's already a calm dude. But I guarantee you there was a time where he let it get to him. Maybe it was in New York, and his demeanor changed. But no, hearing it from Nick Manwari, a defensive guy, because you always hear it from the offensive side, I think made it even more real. So, Sam, keep doing your thing.
A very cool story to come from the Seahawks Super Bowl parade. That's coming up next on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
I know the paint's barely dry on the new Super Bowl champ Seahawks gear, but can you believe Mariners pitchers and catchers have already reported and spring training is underway?
Holy catfish, that was fast.
They know from day one of spring training, they have a chance to win the whole thing.
Follow how the 2026 Mariners come together at seattlesports.com. We're the home of your American League West champion Mariners.
Holy smokes.
Seattle Sports.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here for my friends at People Come First, or PCF Construction Group. Spring and summer, it's right around the corner. So if you haven't called PCF about getting started on your new deck, well, right now is the time. With a patio cover, heater, and fireplace from PCF, you can enjoy your outdoor deck or patio all year long. And right now, you can get up to $6,000 off your entire project, plus no payments and no interest until 2027. Save an additional $1,500 when you bundle your deck and patio cover. Some restrictions do apply, but do what we did. Contact PCF for all the details and start planning and designing your dream deck now so you're ready to build by the spring. Planning and permits, they can take a little time, so please don't wait. Get started today. Get project ideas, browse photos, and find all the offer details at PCFgroup.com. That's PCFgroup.com.
Making your outdoor space with People Come First.
I've always wanted to learn French, but the app I tried didn't help.
If you want to memorize words in another language, there's an app for that. But if you want to really learn another language, there's Babbel. Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different. Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Babbel feels like it was created intentionally by people who really know what you need to learn another language. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Want to really learn another language? Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com to save up to 50%. Babbel.com.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side, your Sleep Number setting. Enjoy personalized comfort for better sleep night after night. And now, during our President's Day sale, take 50% off our limited edition bed, plus free home delivery with any bed and base. Ends Monday. Only at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com.
Is your home uncomfortably cold? It might be because most windows and doors have a huge influence on your home's comfort. Adrian here, owner of Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Our windows are 25% more energy efficient than Energy Star standards, which can help reduce your energy bills by up to 30%. Combined with our leak armor installation and lifetime warranty, the investment in your home will be protected for life. Choose Lake Washington Windows and Doors, a name you can trust. Visit lakewashingtonwindows.com.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Welcome to guided meditation. Close your eyes. You're at the beach. The seagulls are calling. You take out your iPhone 16e you got from Cricket and use Apple Intelligence to clean up that selfie you just took. It's a good one. You send it to your friends instantly thanks to reliable nationwide 5G. They're totally jealous. Get iPhone 16e for $49.99 when you switch. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Requires new line on the Supreme Unlimited plan. First service charge and tax due at sale. $25 activation fee. Terms and restrictions apply. Cricket 5G is not available everywhere. See store for details.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-290-7100. That's 800-290-7100.
You're 62 or older, lots of equity in your home, and you want to pull some cash out, but a refinance or HELOC, well, it means a bigger payment. And the cost of selling your home, it's insane. So what should you do? Hey, Brock Hewitt here for Tila Mortgage. You don't need to live at a lower standard than you deserve. You really got 3 options. Number 1, sell your home. 2, get a HELOC or refinance. Or 3, get a reverse mortgage. Tila has done the analysis and believes that a reverse mortgage is the most cost-effective way for seniors to get cash out of their homes without selling and having the option of no monthly mortgage payment. Too good to be true? No. Call today and let's compare. Tila, spelled Tila, is a name you can trust for truthful, honest, and ethical advice for all your mortgage needs. Give them a call today. 206-766-8888. That's 206-766-8888 or
TILAmortgage.com. Insurance and property taxes are borrower's responsibility. Tila Mortgage LLC is a mortgage broker. NMLS 2472046.
This is The Timeline
with Bump and Stacy.
Brought to you by 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
A feel-good story to kick off the timeline today. I don't know if you guys heard, it was a local news story. I saw it on initially maybe like Cairo 7, but it was a 3rd grader who attended the Seahawks parade, and he got an autograph from Josh Jobe and a couple other players, and then he threw the football, or maybe a parent did, to Sam Darnold to get his signature. Sam signs it, and when Sam threw it back, it deflected off another football, hit the ground, and was given to the wrong kid.
Oh.
And so this kid didn't get a signed football back. It was like his biggest treasure. So
I bet he cried.
I'm sure he did. And I guess people around him at the parade were like, oh, he's over here. This is, this guy's. And it just wasn't working out. So Josh Jobe and the Seahawks heard about this. Seattle Times reporter Sophia Vesley has the follow-up for it. She said that Josh Jobe and the Seahawks invited this fan to come tour the Virginia Mason Athletic Center, Seahawks headquarters, and then they gave him a brand new autographed football and jersey.
Nice.
Isn't that cool?
Make it right.
I loved this from the article. He's been a Seahawks fan since birth, not that long ago. He says he's a football player himself, a wide receiver, and thinks his speed, quote, probably parallels that of Offensive Player of the Year Jackson Smith-Njigba.
All right.
That's
kid.
confidence.
You got to have that confidence.
Gotta have it.
You be blind. Be delusional, kid. Keep it up. It's going to take you far. Listen, I can understand how footballs can get lost in that whole thing on accident, too. I've tossed a few myself, and I'm sure the one that hit the lady in the forehead maybe deflected. And,
I forgot about that until right now. I can't believe you hit a lady in the forehead with a football.
Somewhere else. Hey, I had to put it on a line. So I could see where this could happen.
Way too much zip on that football.
It wasn't a lot, but it was enough to where I can see if you're not comfy catching a football, you're going to panic.
Hit a woman in the face.
Forehead. If it was like nose area, I'd feel a lot worse, but there's a lot of bone up there.
Anyways, congratulations to 3rd grader Antonio Rodriguez for getting a brand new signed football, and big ups to Josh Jobe and the Seahawks for making that happen.
Got to tour the VMAC too?
Yeah. He talked about seeing all the players' lockers and how cool that is. I don't know. It's an adorable story. The quotes in it were really cute. Moving on. Most people from Seattle probably had a great time in San Francisco during Super Bowl week with very few complaints. But Michael Irvin isn't a Seahawks fan, and he said the Bay Area was the worst one he's been to.
This is a horrible Super Bowl. They should never, ever, ever, ever bring the Super Bowl back to San Francisco. I'm sorry. In all the years of going to a Super Bowl, this was the worst. This seemed so like blah. It was blah in the city, you know what I mean? It just wasn't jumping like you see Super Bowls jumping. It was blah. The people blah. Blah. The buildings out here looks blah. When you go and you're going to events, it's like blah. I'm thinking it should be so much money out here because the tech is out here, right? But it all looks so blah. Blah, 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 blah. And I didn't want to dampen anybody's thoughts or hope about a Super Bowl during the Super Bowl, so I said, I'm going to wait. But I couldn't wait till this moment came to tell you, damn. This, I believe, the worst Super Bowl I've ever gone to.
He said, I don't want to ruin or take away from anyone else's experience, but I hate San Francisco. I hope it catches on fire. Like, oh my God, bro, calm down.
Well, let me tell you this. San Jose was more popping than San Francisco, for sure.
Oh, see, I didn't make it out there.
San Jose was popping. It was popping.
What's up? What's wrong with San Francisco?
San Francisco
I went to a Trader Joe's.
San Francisco was like Seattle. You only have so many places you go to out here, like real clubs.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's not like Houston or LA or whatever. It's kind of the same as San Francisco. He should have went to San Jose.
Yeah.
San Jose was popping. So Mike, I feel you, but you went to the wrong spot, and you didn't go to the Seahawks after party. If you would have went there, you would have had a great time.
Gotta let them know. Should the NBA go to extreme measures to curb tanking? Our next story. Amazon NBA analyst Stan Van Gundy told Golic and Golic he thinks the league should consider doing away with the draft.
Number one is I'd get rid of the draft. No draft. You've still got the salary cap. If you want to go give Cooper Flagg $45 million a year coming out of college, do it. He's a free agent. Everybody coming out is a free agent. With no draft, there's no incentive to lose. There's none at all. It's not a matter of your odds or anything else. There is no incentive.
So just everything is free agency. You want to take players out of college, you pay for them as free agents.
That's not a bad concept, actually, because it's like, all right, you're all dealing with the same amount of money. How much do you want that player? Curtis, what's the name of those drafts where it's like a bid draft?
Auction leagues. Yeah.
Auction league. It's just like that. Right? Someone say it's the first round, the first pick. There's a player who puts, say, Cooper Kupp out there, and everyone bids and sees if they want to spend their salary cap on this guy. So some guy might bid like $25, other guy $30, and I go, no, I'm out at $25. I'm actually not mad at this concept because it just it forces you to get rid of tanking. Allows the players at the end of the year just to keep playing, keep competing, because there's no incentive. I actually like this. The more I talk about it, the more I'm buying into it. I ain't mad at that.
Also on board, Suns owner, is it Matt Ishbia?
Yeah.
He ranted about it on X this morning, saying tanking is losing behavior done by losers. Great sentence. Purposely losing is something nobody should want to be associated with. It's embarrassing for the league and for the organizations. And the talk about this as a strategy is ridiculous. So just like agreeing that like the league absolutely needs to do something. Now, this is in contrast to what Mark Cuban said the other day, which is he thinks the league should embrace tanking and instead try to correlate it with if everyone knows a team is tanking, well, then why don't you make that game and that team and those games so much more affordable for people?
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Well, it's either you're tanking or you're not tanking.
Don't tank, though.
Yeah.
Still make things affordable, but don't tank.
Sticking with the NBA, was it a little fishy that the Mavericks won the Cooper Flagg lottery months after trading Luka Doncic to the Lakers? Pablo Torre, I'm surprised. Can I just say that Pablo wasn't on this?
I'm surprised Pablo wasn't on the Tony Clark stuff, too.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, no,
like
I need.
Right up his alley.
Pablo would have known whether it was the brother's wife or the wife's sister for sure. He would know. Okay,
for sure.
He probably already knows.
I
said,
mean,
I'm going to sit this one out.
He's probably like, the details are too messy. I can't, this is not for public consumption.
So at the time, I remember us even saying like a little weird, a little convenient because do you remember what the Mavs odds were for getting? Didn't they have one of the lowest odds for getting?
It's like 2% or something like that, wasn't it?
It was crazy. Like just horrible odds for actually getting the number one pick. They end up getting it. Well, Pablo Torre Finds Out says more than one NBA owner has told him
1.8%.
1.8% chance. And they get the number one pick. Yeah, pretty fishy. Pablo Torre talked to two owners, and they think that it was fixed.
I'll tell you that I remember I was at an event, and I spoke to two NBA owners. This was the day after the NBA lottery. And those two owners were both like, this was obviously fixed. And I'm like, okay, so I'm not saying that it was fixed for the Mavs. I am simply saying that it's not just you, Will, and people on the internet, perhaps, who are saying this seems fixed to me and I believe it to be so. I'm saying literally two NBA owners did not trust the hand of Adam Silver to remain out of the proceedings in terms of rigging the NBA draft lottery.
Which says something about the league, owner confidence in the league, and also says something about maybe some rumors that have validity going around.
It's unfortunate that the possibility of this being rigged, like I could like buy
Absolutely.
into.
When you told me 1.8%, even lower than I thought,
I can buy into. Like no one was sitting there thinking that the Mavs with 1.8% chance to get this was actually going to get it. There's still a chance. 1.8 is something. But just the NBA does not have the greatest reputation when it comes to integrity of the game. Where it's tanking, it's refereeing, it's collusion. Now it's the draft. I mean, if it's not like all this stuff is being made up, right? So, yeah, it's unfortunate. I could see it going down, though.
You think it was rigged? Just point blank. You think it was rigged?
Look, the fact that the league vetoed a Chris Paul trade to the Lakers back in the day because they own the team makes me believe that this is a possibility, because if they don't like something, the league will make sure that it pans out the way that they want it to pan out.
Curtis, you think it was rigged? Get Dallas that number 1 overall pick for playing nice and sending Luka to the Lakers?
Do I think it was rigged? Hey, Matt, hit the music.
Matt's like, what music?
I should have known we'd end up here. Timeline always ends up in Curtis's conspiracy
Absolutely, it was rigged. And this isn't the only one that was rigged. I also think it's interesting how 3 times in draft lottery history, a generational big man has ended up on the San Antonio Spurs. David Robinson, Tim Duncan, and Victor Wembanyama. That's a little weird.
It's very weird.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we got a lot of NBA. I think that the NBA probably has the most conspiracy theories.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it just lends itself to that, and I believe all of them. Where can the Seahawks build in 2026? That's next on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
I know the paint's barely dry on the new Super Bowl champ Seahawks gear, but can you believe Mariners pitchers and catchers have already reported, and spring training is underway?
Holy catfish, that was fast. They know from day one of spring training, they have a chance to win the whole thing.
Follow how the 2026 Mariners come together at seattlesports.com. We're the home of your American League West champion Mariners.
Holy smokes!
Seattle Sports.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first, on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home for you so you attract the right buyers. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
It took us 93 years to build this reputation, but it'll take just 5 minutes to ruin it. If you think about that,
you'll do things differently.
Lee Johnson Auto Family.
Seattle Sports is your chance to win 2 tickets to see Dave Matthews Band at the Gorge Amphitheater September 4th. Head to seattlesports.com/win to enter and see contest rules. That's seattlesports.com/win for your chance to win.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
If you owe back taxes, listen carefully to rule number 1. Never go up against the IRS alone. They're cracking down, freezing bank accounts, garnishing paychecks, canceling passports. Even your home or business could be at risk. But here's what they don't tell you. The IRS has powerful tax relief programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. That's why smart people call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. Nobody knows these programs like the experts at Optima. Their team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $2 billion in tax debt for people just like you. The IRS is not stopping, so don't wait and don't take them on alone. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
You're losing your hair and you simply need a solution that works. You want the best. Modern technology, top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need world-class Dr. Perungo and his team at Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair has completely redefined hair restoration. From the experience itself to their unmatched results. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, maybe all 3 like I had. Get your hair back with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment that begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. For your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. Right now, you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Refine your hairline with the team that redefined hair restoration. That's 425-449-8185. Or for the before and afters, visit advancedhair.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Curtis, I didn't read this one to you. I read it to Bump, but someone on the text line texted in their solution to solving tanking.
Okay.
They said draft conclave. Like how you choose the Pope. All the teams have to be present, and you choose a team that gets to have the first overall pick. And then presumably you have some smoke when you decide.
I was listening to Bill Simmons' last podcast, and he thought it would be good to do it kind of like wrestling, where you have like surprise entrances. Where you know the order of the draft picks. Like Darren Peterson of Kansas is likely going to be the #1 pick in the draft this year. He shows up on the podium and outwalks like either the mascot or like the GM of the team that he's getting drafted to. He has no idea who's drafting him.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh my God, it's the Houston Rockets. Like, that'd be pretty cool.
I really like that. And I know everyone has to know the order, but I also like the idea of mascots revealing the order on stage.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Especially if they're
Phoenix Suns
jumping out of
gorilla.
cakes or something.
I am so for the auction draft.
Yeah,
That makes the most sense. And also with the Pope deal.
The conclave. It's the conclave.
Whatever, the Pope deal. It's gonna be easy to pick the #1. It's gonna be like, all right, worst record.
You guys
it's
suck.
like once you get in between like 12 and like 30 is where it's like, what the heck?
That's true. Like, imagine if you had to make like a 5th, 6th, 7th place Pope. That takes a lot of time. You just choose one Pope.
Yeah.
You know?
They also came up with the idea of putting in what was called the ping pong ball of death, where
you lose your pick if you draw it.
Yes, or you like get bumped to the back of the lottery. So like you spend all this time tanking, and you're like, we're gonna get the #1 pick, and you draw that, and it's like, oh, you're pick 14.
Oh, that's really good.
Draft viewership would go way up. The drama.
Team coaches or a player representative compete on a season of Survivor?
It always comes back to Survivor.
It really does.
Comes back to
Season
Survivor.
50 in a couple of weeks.
Hear
Actually,
me
is
out.
it this week? No,
And
it's
we'll
next
do
week.
mini Survivors. It won't go. It'll be like 2 weeks. 2 weeks. You eliminate like 2 people a day or something, and then that's your draft order. That's your draft order. You can still have a jury of 3 where other
This would take
teams
way
decide.
too long.
I think that this is right, though. Okay, this isn't what I wanted to talk about here. I just wanted to spend just a couple minutes kind of setting up our look at the offseason. We're going to enter into the combine, enter into the draft, enter into free agency with all kinds of lists for ourselves of what we think this team needs. So let's identify that now. Where can the Seahawks actually build in 2026? What's the first thing that comes to mind?
O-line. I mean, you always want to get better there. I think there's a spot I offered up Evan Neal as a guy you bring in to compete with Anthony Bradford. You need some more depth there. There's a couple guys that they drafted over the past couple years who Satolo Mea, I don't think he's here anymore. Hopefully he's with the team.
You need to stop making
I
it
said he's
sound
not
like people...
here anymore.
It's just
I didn't say he wasn't with us.
Man.
He's not here. He's not in
Always
Seattle.
make it sound like people die.
He's with someone else, hopefully. Hope he's making some money.
He's not with us.
But here's the thing about the Hawks, though, is that it depends on what happens. It depends on what happens with Kobe, Reek, Jason, who I'm missing, Derek Young, Jake Bobo, Josh Jobe. You're waiting to see what's going to happen with them, and then you realize, okay, this is where we need to focus on because there's no position other than O-line and linebacker where I feel like you definitely need some depth right now. Now, if Jobe is gone and Reek is gone, they're playing for the Jets and whoever the heck, then I'm like, all right, well, DB for sure. You got to go get after it. Right now, I just look at the O-line. Bring someone in to compete. If Bradford beats him out, then he beats him out. And I think he can beat them out. I said it before. When he is good, my man is good. Mm-hmm. I saw him block 3 guys, 1 play. Block down, second level, boom, third level, bam, you out of there. Like, I've synced it with my own eyes. All right, so Bradford, have a good offseason.
Did you see Brian Nemhauser post a graphic of, I don't know if it was pass block win rate. I forget what it was. Maybe it was total pressure percentage allowed. Anyway, Will Fries, whom the Seahawks reportedly really tried to sign, but then he wouldn't complete a physical with the team before signing, so he went with Minnesota, finished with a worse season than Bradford.
Did he?
Very interesting.
There we go.
See, I completely just lost track of Will Fries. Mm-hmm. Once they didn't sign him, I was like, well,
you know why?
Moving on.
He probably was banged up. That's why I didn't want to take that physical.
Yep. I think getting the run game started earlier, having that be more consistent, I don't know defensively where to go here, man. Like, I mean.
Linebacker.
Yeah.
Just need depth.
Linebacker there.
Then we'll see what happens with Mafe.
With Mafe, you were fortunate with injuries, so, maybe you could use reinforcements for your pass rush. I just love what this team did defensively, and I love that it was wire to wire because it feels like the foundation is right for everything. Mm-hmm. You've got young players that are really exciting. I'm with you. I'd probably say adding competition at the interior offensive line or offensive line in general. And then if you're not going to keep Walker, finding your answer there. Charbonnet with that ACL is massive.
Yeah, I mean, we threw some names out there, right? It was Etienne and who's the guy? And Dowdle, yeah. And then this draft. I mean, this is a good running back draft. I think last year was a better running back draft, but this one is good too, man. I believe you can find yourself a guy to hold it down. You go and pick up one of these free agents who has proven in this league and show that they can move, and then you draft yourself the guy in with the 3rd or 4th round and have him fill it. And you still got McIntosh on the roster too. Mm-hmm. McIntosh maybe gets an opportunity here. Wally Pitt, right? Someone gets banged up, you show up and do your thing.
Speaking of the NBA, back to some of these things. Someone said instead of Survivor, what about coaches and or player representative compete to determine draft order in a season of Naked and Afraid?
Okay.
So it's going to take too long.
I actually
it takes a couple months to do that one.
Well, we'll do an abbreviated version. I actually also want to propose Great British Baking Show as another thing that they compete in. Winner gets the number 1 overall pick. It feels more fair than if you want to eliminate tanking, be creative with it. You don't get a tank purposely and then go compete on Great British Baking Show and think that you can make a perfect, cookie or whatever.
Perfect cookie.
I'm so sold on these ideas. I am completely sold on spending the rest of my afternoon thinking of ways to eliminate and de-incentivize tanking.
Yeah.
By replacing the draft with something else. I'm here for it. I think that's the future of the
Van
league.
Gundy figured it out. That's it.
That's it.
That's the only option
That's
to me.
the smarter answer.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that makes sense. We are going to kind of stand by and take a listen at Seahawks headquarters, where new offensive coordinator Brian Fleury is scheduled to have his introductory press conference. That's coming your way next on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Brock and Salk on the home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Just thinking back on Sam Darnold. That first impression of Sam in April, the Mike McDonald got, the John Schneider got, was like, ooh, yeah, this is everything we wanted. This is the humble guy. This is the guy that's using his scars and his experience to not be bitter and to not be selfish, but to actually be humble and pick everybody else up. They knew it in April, Salk.
Morning 6 to 10, only on Seattle Sports.
Matt Coker here with West Coast Men's Health. In the past 5 years, we've seen thousands of men at our clinics. Most guys tell us the same story, that in their early 50s, it's not that they couldn't function, they just needed help. They started taking Viagra, and it worked great at first. But after a few years, it stopped working. The problem is that their arteries had become more restricted since they started taking it, because Viagra does not unclog arteries. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we use acoustic wave therapy to target the real problem. We break down plaque and clear up the arteries so blood can flow like it did in your 20s. This restores function. And guys, listen to this. You won't have to take a pill anymore. So if this sounds like you, give West Coast Men's Health a call today and see how we can help.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing, must-visit shops. And how healthcare offices become the data managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business. Powering possibilities.
Now through March 22nd, switch to Comcast Business and get started with 150 megabit internet plus Security Edge for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Or ask how to lock in your rate for 5 years on a qualifying internet bundle and get a $500 prepaid card when you add 2 lines of mobile. For a limited time only. Call today. Restrictions apply. New customers only. Requires paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account. Equipment, taxes, and other fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ENJOY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and, of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
Hi, Chuck here at Frank Lumber the Door Store. As we turn the corner on a new year and start planning for home projects and better weather, now is the time to come in and see all we have to offer. Our bargain barn is loaded with great deals with many exterior and interior options. And if you need your order quicker, now is the time of year to take advantage of our pre-hung and popular matchup service. Come visit our showroom and bargain barn in Shoreline. And don't forget to check us out online at franklumber.com.
Need a break from everything? Escape to a place where anything is possible and the fun never stops. At Silver Reef Casino Resort, you'll discover world-class dining, championship caliber golf, a full sports book and bar, over 1,000 top-rated slots and table games, and so much more. Come join the fun and see why we've been consistently rated one of the region's top destinations. Visit silverreefcasino.com to book your stay and discover all the exciting events and promotions we have in store for you. Silver Reef Casino Resort, located off I-5, exit 260.
Home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest. This is the power of 12 is 1, man.
KIRO AM Seattle and KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The John Schneider Show returns today at 4 p.m. on Wyman and Bob. Hear the latest in an exclusive interview with the GM of the Super Bowl winning Seahawks as Seattle prepares for the Combine, free agency, and the draft. All episodes will be available on the Seattle Sports app and Seattle Sports YouTube page and will air live right here on 7:10 a.m. Speaking of, coming up, new Seahawks OC Brian Fleury will have his introductory press conference. We'll be airing that live right here on Seattle Sports.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. New Seahawks offensive coordinator Brian Fleury is scheduled to have his introductory press conference at Virginia Mason Athletic Center. We're going to take you there live. The second he steps up to the podium, he's not quite there yet. So instead, Bump, we'll figure out what we're curious to learn about Brian. I don't even know what question I would ask because I remember our first interview with Clint when he was hired on, and it was very early. It was in the off season, shortly after he was hired on, and he couldn't say anything. But you had so many questions, I'm sure. So I'll say this. What are you most curious about with Fleury and what he plans to do here?
First, I just want to see how he communicates. What is he like? Because we interviewed Kubiak, and there's a quiet confidence about him. We knew he knew what he was doing, right? We got years of him in the league with Minnesota, with the Saints. We saw his work on film. Now, to me, it was just about communicating that and what did that feel like. With Fleury, it is, what's the first message to the fan? Is it, hey, we're going to continue to run the rock? Because I think that's what most people want to hear. Run the rock to open everything else up. Find ways to get tight ends involved. He's going to say all the right things, I feel like. To me, it's more, how does he say the right things? What was it about his personality that attracted Mike McDonald, that made him say, there's 4 guys in-house that are interviewing for this job. I'm going to roll with the guy who's never been an offensive coordinator before, has been in the system for 7 years with Shanahan. So for me, it's more of a feel, because I think that most people are prepped when they get to the mic, especially when you're at this position, an OC. You're prepped and you know what to say. It's just, how do you say it? Who was the big guy for the Jets? Gase?
Oh, Adam Gase.
And it was just weird, right?
It was like, real. I was physically uncomfortable.
Yeah, it was like, I don't know about this guy.
He tried his best.
And you could get a bad feeling about somebody and they can prove you completely wrong. But it's just first impressions. Right? What does it feel like when he's talking about his offense and what he wants to do?
Yeah, I think I'm listening for keywords like communication and teaching, which are things that any OC and any coach would say. But I remember early interviews with Mike McDonald, him really emphasizing the importance of teaching and that being central to a lot of what he wanted to do here. And you can think, general you, that it's just coach speak. But when you see this team and everyone knows where they're supposed to be and everyone knows what to do and everyone understands the mission, behind that you have to have like teaching as a principle and as your number one priority. Otherwise, you can't just be like, all right, up to you guys. Just, everyone go their own way. Figure it out yourself as long as you get to the same place. No, Mike McDonald is very keyed in on communication. Everyone is teaching and communicating the same thing.
Yeah, you got to be aligned. All on the same page. I'm speaking the same language, having the same energy. I'm coming to work every single day. I've been around the VMAC a lot, and I never see a day or feel a day where the coaches are down, the players are down. They find a way to get motivated every single day. And that's big, man, because in football, man, there are times where your body is hurt mentally, you're done. And they do a better job of taking care of players in the NFL now than back when I played. But you still get to a point where, you got to find a way to get yourself up for the day. And it starts with the leadership. It starts with Mike McDonald and the coaches. So I think that the energy and enthusiasm for the game is going to be extremely important, which it is for most football teams. But there's a way you have to do it. I would imagine that is different over here.
All right, we'll go ahead and listen to Brian Fleury at the podium now.
I want to introduce Brian Fleury as our new offensive coordinator. We're going to be curious on how everything came about, but I think the mentality going into the whole process was, hey, let's stick to our process. We had some really great, talented coaches in-house that we talked to, and all those guys did a phenomenal job. Brian's someone that I've known about for a while, and we have some common relationships that we share, kind of throughout the coaching ranks. So I knew about Brian. I knew he was a great coach. And then we had an opportunity to talk to him, and he just did a phenomenal job. I think his vision for what he believes in offensively and with a football team was aligned with how we wanted to, and just hit the principles and philosophy on how he goes about his business and how he coaches and what he wants from our offense. He took it straight out of our culture graphic. So a lot of alignment, and it gave us an opportunity to have some great continuity and keep some great coaches as well, and let us take our offense to the next level. So we're really excited about it. We're off and running right now, trying to finalize our staff, and excited to start our process.
Mike, where did you see that alignment? In what ways do you feel like you guys were aligned?
Well, all the things we've talked about throughout the season in terms of connectivity, attention to detail, like the chasing edges type of mentality. He didn't use those words verbatim, but he might as well have. Just how we want to run off the football. I mean, tactically, there's a lot of similarities as well, but just how we do business, and it felt like he would be a great partner to work with.
Ryan, what does this opportunity mean for you? You've been around football for a long time.
Yeah, it means a lot. Before I get to the question, though, I just want to take an opportunity to really, thank the York family and the San Francisco 49ers organization for 7 great years. That's a long time for us. My family and I have never been anywhere that long, and we have a lot of lifelong memories and experiences from that, both inside and outside of football. And I also want to thank Kyle Shanahan for the opportunities he gave me in the building to take ownership of new roles and develop me to the point where I'm sitting here today. And so now, to answer the question, the opportunity means a lot. I mean, I think there's only 13 of these, non-head coach play calling jobs on the planet, and so to be considered one was an honor. And now to be sitting here next to Mike, I can't really express it any better than that.
You did spend a little time with Clint Kubiak. In what ways did that influence your philosophy, if at all?
I would say both of us were more influenced by Kyle than anything else. Clint's a good friend and a great football coach, and right away we bonded over similar views of football and how we see the game, what we think is important. So I wouldn't say he was as much of an influence as a good friend and colleague.
Mike talked a little bit about what he saw in the alignment with both of you, but what does a Brian Fleury offense look like?
It looks very similar to the one that just won the Super Bowl. It's more about how you play than what you actually are doing schematically. We're going to be fast and violent and aggressive in every way that we possibly can, put pressure on defenses, both schematically and from a tempo standpoint, and just always have that type of mindset.
Ryan, you started your NFL coaching career on the defensive side of the football, and you mentioned all the different roles that you've had over the years, but how has that prepared you for this opportunity to be a first-time play caller in the NFL?
It's prepared me in a lot of different ways. I've been fortunate to, share a staff room and game plan with a lot of people that I'm going to be facing off against. I know on this schedule, Durante Jones for sure, but Luann Arumo I shared a staff room with, Terrell Williams, Matt Burke, Vance Joseph, D'Amico Ryans, Robert Sala, Aaron Glenn, Jeff Halfley, Anthony Weaver, Brian Duker. So, I have a lot of insight into some of what the opponent is going to be doing in those cases.
Mike, you said there was maybe some shared relationships you guys had, or people you knew. Anybody that really stood out that was a big piece?
Brian Duker's mutual friend, Anthony Weaver. Obviously, we worked together. Those are guys that have been singing his praises for a while, all the way back to Baltimore.
Is the story true, Brian, that during a Super Bowl a while ago you were sent up to bed after Washington was down 10-0 and you stayed at the top of the steps as they scored 35 points?
A lot of research. That was a true story. Yeah, I was, I think, 7 years old. I grew up a Commanders fan because they were the only team in town. And after the first quarter, it was 10-0. My mom told me to go to bed, and I sat there and listened to the second quarter where Doug Williams scored 35 points from the top of the stairs. Yeah, that's true.
It's impressive, Brian.
Brian, play calling experience, I guess how much do you have at varying levels of your career?
So I've called defense and special teams both at the collegiate level. Have not called offensive plays, but have always been preparing to. The thing about offensive play calling to me is the preparation is done ahead of time. You're thinking through the situations and putting plays in a list format of, when you get to 2nd and 1 inside the 30-yard line, what are you going to call? And so the preparation aspect of it I've already done. And now it's just a matter of analyzing the information in real time and getting to the right play call on the sheet.
Brian, some people might find it daunting to take over an offense that set a franchise record for points and just won a Super Bowl. How do you kind of balance embracing what worked, but also making sure you're true to your philosophy and how you want to run things?
I do think one of the advantages of taking this job is there is going to be a lot of continuity. I've already started to dive into everything that Clint was doing here last year, and the goal would be to maintain as much of that as possible, but there's also areas where we can supplement that with things that we've developed and done in San Francisco under Kyle that, Clint wasn't there for or maybe didn't implement as much. So it's that's going to be the goal, is to keep as much as we can the same, but I think there's definitely areas we can grow, some different ways we can challenge the players that they should be looking forward to when they get back here.
Ryan, what elements make a good red zone offense?
To me, the people that can run it in the end zone or in the red zone have the most success. So having the dynamic run game down there and different ways to attack people more horizontally than vertically, just because the field's wider than it is shorter down there, and just doing stuff that's quarterback friendly. It's really just an execution area.
Brian, you got to see this offense from the other side a handful of times this year. What stood out to you seeing it kind of in action with the guys that they have here and everything?
The biggest thing is that John and Mike have built a great roster. There's a lot of really good talented players here. And, Clint did a great job of putting them all in a position to showcase their strengths and minimize, exposing their weaknesses. And so that's something I hope to continue.
The phrase complementary football has been used quite a bit. What's the benefit of having the defense that we have? And as you kind of scheme up the offense and that complementary stuff?
Yeah, it means training camp's going to be tough, but it definitely is great to have that element, on that side of the ball to protect them. Complementary football means protecting each other in a lot of ways. If we can keep them off the field as much as possible, that allows them to be even better and fresher when they're on there. And then obviously, there will be some times where maybe we're going through some difficulties offensively, and having the defense of this caliber can help you weather the storm.
As a defensive coach in your past, do you ever just watch some of the things that Mike has drawn up, and instead of looking at the offensive side, you're too busy looking at what he schemed up?
Yeah, of course. I mean, we played each other a bunch, and being in the division, there's a lot of crossover film. So I've seen a lot of what he's doing and have been impressed from afar for a while.
You've got two guys from this offense, Rashid, Shaheed, Ken Walker, who are currently free agents. If they're listening and trying to learn what this new offensive coordinator is going to be like, what would you tell them?
I think they're going to be very happy with the continuity that would exist here. Obviously, they're coming off a very significant years. Rashid obviously got here midway through the season, but had an impact right away. And then Kenneth, obviously Super Bowl MVP. I can't dive too much into that because of the contract situation, but I would love the opportunity to work with either one of them.
Brian, going back to your defensive background, do you think that shapes at all your approach to offense and how you structure things and how you call it?
Yeah, it 100% does. And I was fortunate to work in a bunch of different styles of defense, so it makes it easier for me, I think, to diagnose how the defense is operating, how they're built, where the coverage structure is and how it works with the fronts. And, what that allows me to do is probably quicker than maybe some other people get to ways to unlock that, both formationally and then structurally, and again, put pressure on them to create conflicts.
You guys overlap with John Benton as well as Sam Darnold. Anyone else you had overlap with, and what does that benefit you coming in?
Eric Saubert, I coached him. I was his position coach for a year. And it just, gave me some insight into, my conversations with them before accepting the job were more just about the building and the quality of people and the culture here. And all of them had nothing but great things to say. So it just reinforced everything I kind of already thought from the outside and was excited to be a part of.
Brian, your 3 years with Miami, kind of what did you do during that, and how did that kind of change your career or help your career?
Yeah, it was an interesting time because, I'd just come off of coaching the outside linebackers in Cleveland and, wanted to coach. I do love the educational aspect of it, the teaching, the relationships you have with the guys. And my role in Miami kind of took me outside of that role. It was more of an analytics role, just studying league trends, game management, philosophy, that sort of stuff. Mike Tannenbaum was really kind of my supervisor at the time, and he just said, do whatever you can do to make us better. And so I had a lot of free time to study things. And, when you're a position coach, you get kind of lost in the day-to-day, details and minutia of, making sure those players are right. You obsess over it all the time. And being freed up from that really kind of allowed me to develop my own philosophy of how I would handle certain things. So at the time, I was a little bit frustrated because I wasn't, dealing with players directly. But in hindsight, it probably was one of the most valuable 3-year periods in my life, just from a development standpoint.
What excites you most about the current group that you guys have on offense right now?
Like I said earlier, it's just the way the roster is built. There's a lot of talent. There's not many things to fix, quite honestly. They already play a way that's visible on the silent tape. You can see, the culture on the film. And so I'm excited to just work with that and continue to build it.
And then Sam Darnold, was there an overlap when you were at 49ers? What relationship do you have with him?
Yeah, Sam and I was the tight end coach and run game coordinator there. He was the quarterback. So we talked a little bit in terms of the game plan. Sam's a great human being, and I loved sharing the workspace with him. We have a good relationship, and I'm excited to help it grow and make it better.
When you said you could see the culture on the tape, what does that look like? How could you tell?
It's violent. It's finishing. It's hard to describe, but you know it when you see it. That's for sure. It's just people playing at a different level than everybody else.
When you're evaluating a coach who has not an extensive play calling background, how do you kind of evaluate that aspect of a decision like this?
Going into it, I do think it's a bit overrated. Somebody at some point, all play callers have to be first-time play callers at some point. You could tell how Brian thinks about the game. Look, you're gonna have to grow in any new role, but we have a lot of great people around here and a lot of great opportunities for him to get ready to go. And I'm really confident he's going to be off and running sooner than later. So I'm excited about it. It's going to be a fun process to build this thing.
Can you shed a little more light for people that don't understand what a run game coordinator, pass game coordinator, and other folks do to help contribute to the game plan and the plays that get implemented?
Well, titles sometimes get, titles get thrown around all the time. So it's really, to me, it's how can we structure our staff and the roles and responsibilities that we can kind of dish out throughout the course of the week to generate the best ideas for our players and help them put in position to win games. But it does let them specialize in that area of the game that they can do a great job diagnosing how teams operate and defensive mechanics, things like that. And ultimately, it's really just there to serve Brian and whoever's calling the plays, and make sure we come up with the best plan. But it does take on a different life based off of the dynamics of each staff. The titles of with Rick and Jake last year and their titles and their roles, that's going to look different this year, just because it's a new staff and new people.
Mike, X's and O's aside, what did you learn about Brian just as a leader?
Well, I feel like he has great command. He has great communication skills. There's a clarity in how he sees the game and what he expects. I think our players are going to really appreciate that. We talk about clarity a lot and being decisive. And so I'm very confident that what we're going to be asking our players to do is going to be very clear to them. And based on his relationships with his players in the past, and we have a great resource here in Eric Saubert about how he treats his players and how they goes about his business every day. He felt like he was one of us, so I'm really excited for him to lead our offense.
All right, we're going to come back with more of this interview, and then also later this hour, we're going to sit down with Brian Fleury. It's all coming your way next.
I know the paint's barely dry on the new Super Bowl champ Seahawks gear, but can you believe Mariners pitchers and catchers have already reported and spring training is underway?
Holy catfish, that was fast.
They know from day one of spring training, they have a chance to win the whole thing.
Follow how the 2026 Mariners come together at seattlesports.com. We're the home of your American League West champion Mariners.
Holy smokes.
Seattle Sports.
That's another amazing run by Team USA.
Mom, think I'll be on Team USA one day?
Well, I'll take this one.
What? Are you speaking to us?
Yes, and to answer your question, anything's possible, especially with Xfinity.
So, I can be the best snowboarder ever?
Well, I can't guarantee that, but Xfinity can guarantee that your internet price won't change for 5 years.
Okay. What if I practice every day?
Then maybe you'll be snowboarding for Team USA at the next Olympic Winter Games. And Mom, you'll still be paying the same price for Wi-Fi.
Ooh, really stuck the landing there.
It's the Xfinity Gold Medal Celebration. Now through February 22nd, get our best price on gig Wi-Fi for 5 years guaranteed, just $50 a month. Plus, get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. That's a $10.99 value per month. Xfinity. Imagine that. Proud partner of Team USA. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Actual speeds vary.
Gold demand is skyrocketing to record highs. As more Americans rush to preserve their savings, will there be enough gold? I'm Dr. Ron Paul, and I believe physical gold is the only way to truly protect your 401k or IRA savings. Gold offers tangible security that can't be tracked, stolen, or inflated. That's why I strongly advocate for gold IRAs. To learn more, text the word SECURE to 989898 now. Birch Gold Group will send you a free info kit on gold IRAs. Birch Gold is the only gold company I trust, and their thousands of great reviews prove I'm not alone. So don't wait another second. Protect your retirement savings today and see how easy it is to move your IRA or 401k into physical precious metals. Text SECURE to the number 989898 for your free gold IRA info kit. Again, SECURE to 989898.
Message and data rates may apply.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Adrian here from Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Winter might seem like an odd time to replace your windows, but now is when you get the best deals. Our Leak Armor installation team will keep your home warm and dry while installing beautiful, new energy-efficient windows. You'll feel the difference right away. Quieter rooms, lower energy bills, and a more comfortable home.
Visit Lake Washington Windows and Doors at the home shows to get 20% off, plus 12 months, same as cash financing. Or go to lakewashingtonwindows.com.
Advanced Hair Restoration, the simple one-day hair loss solution that's guaranteed to regrow your own natural hair. AdvancedHair.com. AdvancedHair.com.
At Bible Law Group, our team reflects the same lessons learned by our founder, James Bible, while playing for legendary Husky coach Don James. Coach James always said it's amazing what gets done when nobody claims credit. That's the philosophy we carry into every case, because your victory is what matters at Bible Law Group. When your legal problems hit biblical levels and you feel like you're stuck in a lion's den of litigation, you need a legal team that won't back down. At Bible Law, we've secured over $40 million in settlements for our clients, and we're ready to fight for you. Find us online at BibleLawGroup.com.
New siding doesn't have to break the bank. We offer affordable options that add value and protection to your home. This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. And while we're at it, ask about our roofing, windows, decking, and gutter services for even more savings. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule your free siding inspection. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
State Roofing, the best roof you'll ever need.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today. It's not just about better health, it's about a better life.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
All right, Brian Fleury is going to join us for a sit-down later this hour. Before we get to that, though, let's jump right back into this press conference.
You've said before that, like, on game days, because you're calling defensive plays and that's your focus, you don't really talk to Sam and the offense a whole lot. I'm curious, does that setup impact the kind of leader that you want in your offensive coordinator? Like, again, scheme aside.
Yeah, there's a lot of, I mean, not just on game days, but really every day, at some point in the day, we're going in opposite directions, and we're with defense, and they're leading the offense. So that's one of the reasons I'm excited about Brian. I can't wait to hear what happened that day, like the things that we came up with, where we took stuff, how we coached it. I mean, all that type of stuff. Like, I'm excited to see how he takes it and how it operates. So it's definitely part of the decision.
Brian, do you know if you have a preference between calling a game from the booth or on the field, or is that something you'll still figure out?
My vision would be to call it from the field, but I would like to do both in the preseason. There's just something to be said for having face-to-face conversations with every position group, and I also think that it's important, if you have things in mind and you're anticipating calling stuff, to preview it with those groups, and that's something I would like to be able to do in person, which that would be the disadvantage from calling it from the booth. I've spent a number of games up there, and I do think it, like, the taking some of the sensory out of it, like, helps and calms things as a play caller standpoint. But I think ultimately I'll end up wanting to do it from the field.
All right, we're going to be joined shortly by Brian Fleury. You guys are a little behind with the press conference. It's wrapped, so he's heading into our studio there at Virginia Mason Athletic Center, where he's going to sit down, and we're going to be able to ask him a few follow-ups from his introductory press conference. If you guys have a question or two that you're still wondering, you can text those in, and Brian joining us right now. Brian, how's it going?
Fantastic. How are you?
We're great. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm curious. I want to go all the way back to the interview process. What was that process like, interviewing with Seattle, and when did it become clear to you the job was yours?
I mean, it didn't become clear until Mike called and offered me the job, but the process was thorough. I'll put it that way. Mike doesn't leave any stones unturned. He did a lot of research ahead of time. I was starting to get, notifications and calls from friends around the league that they were asking a lot of questions and doing their due diligence and research long before I even know I had the interview. And then so when I actually did get the call to go through the interview process, that was really exciting. And, I had already, due to those questions, had an opportunity to start preparing in advance in anticipation of that. And so, the interview was really thorough. It was, a lot of different people in the organization that have, say and communicate with Mike were able to be a part of it. And obviously it worked out.
Hey, Coach, either I heard you say this or I read it. It was kind of cool, man. You've been patient. You said you didn't want to be a head coach in my early 30s and kind of flame out. You wanted to make sure the opportunity was right. Obviously, you've grinded there in San Francisco. What made you feel like you're ready to be an offensive coordinator now?
I mean, I've been preparing to be an offensive coordinator ever since I moved over to the offensive side of the ball. I knew what my ultimate goals were, and I'm always looking for ways to grow in any direction. So I was very confident I was ready for this opportunity. It's just really a blessing to be here out of all places, and in a top-notch organization that's obviously like built for success right now. They've got a great quarterback in place, and good talent on the roster. So it really it's an exciting time.
What do you like most about Sam? I know you'd already obviously worked with him, so there's familiarity, but what do you like most about him?
I mean, I love his grit, honestly. Like, if you look at Sam's journey and the obstacles he's had to overcome, and he's always been very talented, but, had some rough times early on, and just the way he's persevered through that is really what you want in any sort of coworker in this, profession. And so, especially at the quarterback position, I'm just, really excited for him and happy for him and looking forward to finding ways for him to continue to grow.
Hey, on paper, man, some of the things I love about you is that you've been on the defensive side of the ball. You know what the defense is trying to do and trying to take away. And you coach tight ends, in my opinion, the most versatile position in the game. You're involved in the run game, pass pro, the passing game as well. How have, those two positions or your coaching path kind of prepare you for this moment?
Yeah, it's funny, right? It's pretty unique. Coaching on the defensive side of the ball gives me a lot of perspective as to how to attack defenses. I was fortunate enough to work in a bunch of different systems with the 3 teams I was at on defense here in the league, and then obviously back in college too. And then, it helped me first as a tight end coach, having been an outside linebacker coach, like, listen, this is what their coach is telling them. This is how they're going to try and attack you. This is what they're looking at. This is where your weaknesses are. If I were coaching the outside backers, this is what we would try to exploit. So we need to fix this and get it corrected. And so I have the same perspective from a play calling standpoint as well. I can look at defenses and see where the flaws are, the holes, the things they're maybe not executing as well as they probably should, and where the vulnerabilities are, the cracks in the foundation. And so, I'm anticipating that that's going to help me as a play caller as well.
We had a question from a listener who wanted to know just kind of how involved you could be. I know it's tricky. You weren't OC, but like as a run game coordinator and tight ends coach, in drafting and how that might change. I know you don't know yet, Brian, what exactly that role in the draft process is going to look like here, but I would anticipate it's more of a say. You start to get a feel for the pieces you need.
Yeah, so each organization is different in terms of like how much, what the balance is between the personnel department and the coaching staff. In San Francisco, we're very coaching staff driven. The scouts do a phenomenal job, but the balance I would say fell more with the coaching staff. Here, John has done a great job assembling a personnel staff, and like they've obviously built a fantastic roster. So I'm hoping not to have to like have much say because of the people that are already in place here. But obviously the evaluation is something that we're very thorough with. So I'll have the opportunity to dive into that and like give my opinions, and hopefully we'll come up with the best result.
I would assume that Coach Don McDonald loved just the familiarity that you have with Sam in this system. How similar is this offense going to look, and then what do you think is going to be different? How are we going to see your touch on it?
I don't think the casual observer will see too many differences. The foundations of what Clint was doing and what I would like to do are going to be very similar. There's some things that we can supplement that we've evolved to in San Francisco that maybe Clint wasn't in tune with, or just didn't feel like was necessary. Those are questions that are going to be answered down the road once I have an opportunity to get the guys on the field and like work with them and see where the capabilities lie and how far we can push things without like having diminishing returns. So there's a lot of work to be done before we can get to an answer to that.
Was there a moment during the interview process in your conversations with McDonald where you just thought, oh, we are connecting, there's this shared principle we have? And what was that thing that you thought really tethered you guys where you were like, we're going to be on the same page?
Yeah, I knew pretty quickly we were going to be on the same page in the interview process, and I had heard that from people that knew both of us, have told me for a long time that we would get along very well, and it's just a shared enthusiasm for football and more about like the fundamentals of how it's played and that sort of thing than the schematics. We both like the schematics, and we can geek out over that sort of stuff at times, but like it's at the end of the day, I think we see football for what it truly should be. It's just a game of fundamentals and technique and effort and violence, and those are the most important parts of it.
During the process, we focus a lot on the coaches and their scheme and what they're doing and what to expect. But I think what's lost in some of this, too, is just the family aspect of it. Like, what did wifey think? The kids, your mom, dad, what was that whole process like?
Yeah, so, I mean, we were in the Bay for 7 years, which is a long time. My daughter was in second grade when we moved there. And, I mean, we had moved her 4 times prior to that. And so this was a different experience altogether. But, she has a lot of – all 3 of us, my wife included, have a lot of close relationships that we've developed there. And so it's always hard to leave friends and some stability. But we were also, I kind of been there and done that when it comes to the Bay. So we're like excited about a new opportunity to be around some new people in a new environment. And, the excitement that comes along with that, just kind of like venturing off into the unknown is something we're all really fired up for.
Yeah, I know. I agree with Bump. That part really resonated with me when you mentioned, my family's been there. It's the longest time we've been in a place. And I was thinking, really exciting to get Brian here, but that's tough. Like that's got to be tough with the move, but clearly the right fit for you. Since you were there for 7 years, obviously Kyle Shanahan loves you, trusts you, values your insight. What's something that you're taking from him and bringing with you here?
He's also kind of mad at me right now.
Yeah, for sure. We won't hold it against you.
No, we need another hour for me to talk about all the things I'm taking away from Kyle. I mean, he's been so instrumental in my advancement in my career. One of the things that he does better than anybody that he doesn't get enough credit for, he's obviously a great play caller, great play designer and that sort of stuff, but he does an amazing job of identifying people that he thinks are capable and empowering them and giving them roles in which they can grow. I would obviously fall into that category, but if you look at the people that were in the building while I was there, Clay Kubiak's there now. He followed the same path. Bobby Slowick, Mike LaFleur, Mike McDaniel. Like I was able to observe the growth for every single one of them, and that's really where Kyle's true strength lies, honestly. And hopefully, and that's something I would like to replicate, like just the development of the people underneath of you, and like helping everybody grow.
George Kittle obviously was a big part of the offense over there in San Francisco, and other good tight ends over there as well. I feel like this is a good group over here. Starting with AJ and Sauber, you got Arroyo as well. What are your views on this tight end group?
No, I totally agree. I was really excited about the tight end group, and I won't be working exactly or directly with them exclusively, but I do see a combination of skills that can be one of the best in the league. That's. When you talk about George, everyone's trying to look for George, and George is really good at everything. He's a great run blocker, great receiver, great pass protector. But you don't have to have all of that in one person. If you can find the combination of skills that allow you to be great in all those areas, then that's what a good tight end room is. And so I think that, we have that here with the Seahawks, and so I'm excited to utilize all those skills.
Who do you like to be as a coach? Are you like hey, I'm your friend, you can talk to me? Is it, I'm a teacher? How do you see your approach?
Authentic, I guess is the best way to put it. I do have a passion for teaching. I come from a family of teachers on both sides. And so like the educational aspect is important to me, and ongoing, something I try to develop and evaluate in myself. In terms of the relationship with the players, I think it's just more supportive. I realized at some point down the line that, we're really on different paths of the same journey, just trying to support our families for as long as we possibly can in the National Football League. And anything I can do to help you in that regard is what I'm here for. And you also have an opportunity to help me by going out and playing your butt off and like just, being attentive and taking the feedback and all those sorts of things.
You mentioned you and Kubiak obviously were close friends. You both learned from Shanahan. A couple questions. Was he a reference on your resume, and what did he tell you about Seattle?
It's funny. We've actually moved past the point of resumes in this profession, so I didn't have to do that. What did he tell me about Seattle? That was the other part of the question?
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah. I mean, he just had nothing but positive things to say about the building and the people and just the culture of the city. I mean, he obviously was only here for a year, but he loved it and had nothing but great things to say about it. He said that, you're going to love it here too.
You used a couple words during your press conference to describe your offense, but I'm going to make you narrow it to one. I'm so sorry. I hate these types of questions, but I want to find out which of these words is most important to you. So if you were to describe the kind of offense, like just the dream offense that speaks to you, where you have the most fun, what word would describe that offense? I know it's tough. I'm putting you on the spot, Brian. I'm sorry.
Hopefully it's high scoring. Right?
That works. Prolific.
Yeah. exciting, you know. It's hard to quantify into one word.
I know.
Just looking at the receiver group now, obviously you're waiting to see what happens with Rashid, Shaheed, but you still have JSN over here, a couple of other guys. When you look at this receiving group, what do you see and how do you plan to utilize them?
I see a lot of potential, and obviously, you know, JSN had a great season. Hopefully that's something we can build on. You know, we got to go through the free agency process and all that sort of stuff. And, you know, I've heard that there's some great talent in the draft. I haven't had a chance to dive into that. So, you know, there'll be some different looks to the receiver room, but we'd like to keep as much continuity as possible. It's great to have so many weapons, you know. Hopefully there's, you know, I wish there were more footballs to go around, but we got to figure that part out when we get to the fall.
And you have a lot of time to do that. You've been very generous with your time, Brian. I know it's a crazy day, introductory press conference, hopping on with us. I will say that we know it's hectic to go from where you were, especially being there for 7 years, to coming here. So we hope that in trying to figure out your offense and fine-tune what you want, that you and your family are able to get settled in and check out some cool stuff around Seattle. So it was so nice meeting you, and thank you for talking to us.
I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, thank you guys. That was awesome. Appreciate it.
Take care. All right before we let you guys go, a couple things we still got coming up today. Mariners insider Shannon Drayer is going to join us at 1. Of course, it's spring training. We got to talk about the Mariners here. We've also got Hype Train coming up at 1:30. I need your questions for What I Need to Know, 866-979-3776. Bump, I feel like we could have talked to Brian. You could have sat and talked with Brian.
Man,
talking X's
you know what
and O's
happens
for
is
hours.
that I realize that if I ask certain questions, some of it would just sound weird to people. You know what I mean? So I got to peel back some of the stuff I want to say. I'll catch him on the one-on-one.
What's
really
a question where if you
out.
could get his honest answer, just one of them, like the more surface level one?
Just what types of defenses have you seen across this division? Like what's a similarity and how would you attack it? And that's something that he probably couldn't tell me on air because he don't want to give up all the goodies. But yeah, I'd be like, Rams, right? What are they like? What do you see? How do you plan on attacking them? Just stuff like that.
Yeah, I think I'd be curious about no, I'm just joking. I was going to take this as a joke into X's and O's, but I'm going to leave that to you. No, I found him really, really likable. I feel like these first impressions, they aren't always entirely right? Mm-hmm. Like I remember hearing from Sam Darnold in his opening press conference and being like, he seems kind of nervous. He's not nervous. He's not a nervous guy. He's very chill. So sometimes they aren't entirely right, but I got a cool feeling about him. He seems really passionate about what he does. Like I said, both parents are teachers, comes from a family of teachers.
Yep.
That matters.
Yep.
All right, we're going to break down everything we learned from Brian Fleury, his introductory press conference, and his conversation with us coming up next.
I know the paint's barely dry on the new Super Bowl champ Seahawks gear, but can you believe Mariners pitchers and catchers have already reported and spring training is underway?
Holy catfish, that was fast.
They know from day one of spring training, they have a chance to win the whole thing.
Follow how the 2026 Mariners come together at seattlesports.com. We're the home of your American League West champion Mariners.
Holy smokes.
Seattle Sports.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
When you buy a new vehicle from Lee Johnson, you'll get a lifetime powertrain warranty included.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home for you so you attract the right buyers. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
P&D Tree Service, experts in local tree removal. Their team works fast to remove problem trees in your yard and neighborhood. Have you ever seen a tree removed by a crane? P&D Tree Services specializes in close-quarter tree removal to minimize impact on your landscaping. 24-hour emergency service. Any job, big or small. Safe, efficient, and fast. P&D Tree Service turns multi-day jobs into a few hours, saving you time and money. Enjoy a clean, safe, and bright yard. PNDTreeService.com.
Hey everyone, Rick Witters, owner of Cressy Door. At Cressy Door, we offer top-of-the-line garage doors, garage door service, and garage door repairs. From everyone here at Cressy Door, congratulations to the Hawks for winning the big game.
It's WFC 190 World Fighting Championship at Emerald Queen Casino Event Center. Saturday night, April 25th. Experience the thrill and excitement of high-energy professional mixed martial arts. Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. Don't miss this amazing mixed martial arts event. WFC 190 World Fighting Championship, April 25th. At Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. 21 and older. Need gambling help? Call 800-547-6133 or visit emeraldqueen.com.
Home of your Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
Seattle Sports.
Seattle thrives on innovation, and so can you with a bachelor's, master's, or certificate program from WGU's School of Business. Get your business education online, on your schedule, with personalized support every step of the way. Our accredited programs are built with input from industry experts and respected by employers nationwide. Are you ready to move your career forward at the speed of business? Learn more at wgu.edu.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for honest pricing, expert service, and guaranteed repairs. This dedication has earned them a Carfax Preferred designation. At Bucky's, every customer gets detailed Carfax updates, timely service reminders, and a full service history, all at your fingertips. With 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, and easy financing, Bucky's makes auto care simple. Visit Bucky's.com today and drive with confidence. Bucky's.com.
Logan Fleury did something smart. He saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With that money, he bought a mini treadmill. Is walking on it during video conference calls more distracting than he thought? Yes. And is that because he overestimated his foot-eye coordination? Definitely. But it's Logan's savings, and if he wants to burn calories and any chance at a promotion, we say, good for you, Logan. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy place, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
All right, shout out Curtis Rogers for getting us that very quick interview with Brian Fleury. Not the interview itself, but being able to
came together very last minute.
Yeah, to be able to turn it around and get him to join us. That was awesome. And we were able to talk with him for quite a bit and learn a bit more. Bump, what things stood out to you the most? We have a lot of things to cover, but your first impression, lasting impression.
Confident dude. You'd expect him to be in the league for this long, and being hired for the offensive coordinator position. I loved that he said Mike McDonald leaves no stone unturned. That means that he was asking question after question, follow-up after follow-up.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Trying to make sure that he's being right, that he is just making the right decision, especially when previously you interviewed 4 guys who were in-house. So you had to make sure that he was bringing something to the table that these other guys didn't and that you wanted to invest in. I also loved just his experience on offense and defense. I mean, I think everyone knew that coming in. We think that's a strong point for him. He understands. He talked about how he's coaching the tight ends. Like, look, this is what they're trying to do. That's the best thing you can do as a coach is be certain this is what the defense is trying to take away. This is how they're going to react. So this is how we are going to attack them.
I liked the focus on teaching and communication, which I think aligns very closely with Mike McDonald. And this was actually from the press conference, but something that he kind of hinted at in his interview with us as well. A focus on just making sure everyone understands their job and is executing, because we all like to talk about, oh, look at this brilliant play caller. So smart, the smartest guy in the room. But, Bump, you know this. Coaching is so much more than just, oh, I know X's and O's, I'm the smartest guy. Lots of bad coaches are really smart people. Being able to communicate to everyone. I'm sure you've had coaches where it's like, I need this guy to make me understand what I'm supposed to do here, because execution matters just as much as scheme.
Yeah, I mean, you could have the perfect scheme, but if your players aren't able to execute it, then what exactly does that scheme mean? I'm distracted right now. Did the U.S. just score and tied up at 1s in the women's hockey?
Sure did.
Okay, let's go. All right, back to the thing at hand. All right, so
it's a national update.
Yeah, national update. I got you. You got to be able to execute and teach, and that's what coaches are. Honestly, they're teachers, and then you get your players so prepared that they kind of start teaching themselves too, right? I'm one of the best things in the world is when I was coaching and I'm trying to, a head coach, offensive coordinator, I'm hitting multiple positions and I leave one position and I hear one of my leaders, my veterans, kind of reiterate and show a player how to do something or a way to do something, a way to think about it. That's the best thing in the world. Eventually, you'll get there. With this team, I think you can get there a bit more. You can get there quickly because they've been in this offense to some extent. Him being with Shannon and him coaching with Kubiak. So, yeah, being a teacher is important, and then allowing your players to be teachers or naturally them being teachers themselves because they just understand the whole deal.
Someone said, I missed the Fleury game or introductory presser because of a work meeting. Well, you need to get your priorities in order, Bryant. Anything good? Will it be up on YouTube later? So our interview with Fleury will be up on YouTube. The Seahawks introductory press conference, I'm sure, will as well. But you want to see ours, it'll be up on the Seattle Sports YouTube page. Make sure you're subscribed. And yes, I think lots of good stuff. I feel like my gut feeling's good. Not that it matters. And you try to be maybe like reporter roots. I always try to be almost like negatively, like negative and then objective in that order, right? Trying to remind myself. But I think that he comes off as someone who communicates well. You know what stood out to me? When I asked him, how do you like to be as a coach? Are you a teacher, are you a friend? He said, authentic. I thought that stood out to me too. That's a good one.
Yeah, I think in the NFL, there are a lot of people who get opportunities because of who they know and who they're related to, right? And everyone knows that in this league. You get a foot in the door, you're going to teach your homies, you're going to bring them along with you. But the main thing is when you get in front of 90 men during training camp, will they believe everything you're saying? That's the main thing. Like, can you be authentic like the way that I felt like he was with us? Can you articulate? Can you teach? Can you do all those things to where when you step up in front of those 90 guys, they're locked in and they believe? I've said this before. I've been coached by guys that I knew, I'm like, he ain't it. Like, he doesn't know what he's talking about for real. He's reading a script. There's no real connection from the install, the coach to the player. Anyone can read a script. I can get up there and say, all right, today, guys, we're learning about cover 2. Just basic stuff, right, for high school kids. Cover 2 high safety, corners here. Now, if I get up there and be like, hey, cover 2 high safety, this is what they're trying to take away. It's 2 high shove. These corners are going to force everything inside, right? You got a backer there. It's just like the way that you communicate it. if it comes off authentic and not robotic, I think that's where you grab this. Now, there's some nerds in the league that are going to sound robotic when they do it.
Sure, it is what it is.
It is what it is. But that's authentically them, though.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yes.
Like, you can sniff out the fake for sure.
Yes, that's really true. Honestly, Mike McDonald, a bit of a nerd.
Yeah,
A bit of a nerd, but
low-key.
it's very authentic to who he is. And it would drive me crazy if I were Mike Salk that he would pause so long in answers. But I also think it's because he's genuinely thinking of his answer, and it's just who he is, authentically him. It's funny you mentioned the way you communicate and kind of having an answer, and that you knew as a player at times, like, this guy doesn't have it because he wouldn't be able to communicate that, just the way he communicated. Because I remember hearing from someone, not a player, but someone who would know, that one maybe issue or critique of Ryan Grubb was he doesn't always have answers, and sometimes when he does, he seems like unsure of them. Or, you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't fully believe in them. And I think maybe it's because Ryan Grubb philosophically was different than Mike McDonald. So, like, he's giving answers that he knows Mike McDonald wants, but they aren't ones he really believes in. So that could be part of it too. But it's interesting that hearing that about Grubb and then hearing your explanation of, like, look, I was on a different team as a player, a different experience, but the same thing was true.
Yeah, I think that's a good point with Grubb too, is because I think we learned throughout the season that they were not on the same page when it comes to how a game should be called and how to attack defenses. So I think that's a possibility, is that Grubb is like, what does he want me to say right now, instead of this is what it is. I guarantee you at UW, he had them kids believe it because it was all him, and the board just let him do his thing. So like I said before, man, I think that McDonald and Schneider have made a mistake when it comes to hiring an offensive coordinator. I don't mind giving a dude a chance, right? Grubb never called plays in the league, give him a chance, didn't work out. Now you're going with a guy who's never called plays in the league, but has been in the league for so long, you're giving him a chance. And that's what I can appreciate, is because the easy pick would go for Arthur Smith, Mike McCarthy, and names that are recycled over and over and over again. I get why they are, because they've shown they had success in this league, but there's something refreshing about Fleury.
Absolutely agree. And the way he described his offense, a little different than a Grubb offense. I
love how you say, I hate these questions, but I'm going to ask you it.
Well, here's why. Because in his press conference, he said, we're going to be fast and violent and aggressive. And I thought, okay, well,
pick one.
What if you had to pick one? What if you had to prioritize them? Like, what's the most important thing that you want And he instead went with ideally high scoring, but exciting. Okay, cool. I'm cool with that. So we have 5 words.
I like high scoring.
High scoring's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like the attitude and mindset seems to match up.
Yeah.
Really good and certainly a good culture fit, which is obvious. We'll see what it looks like in training camp and certainly the season. All right. So that was the latest from Brian Fleury, kind enough to join us. We are switching to the Mariners here, talking with Shannon Drayer from spring training next.
Brock and Salk on the home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Just thinking back on Sam Darnold.
That first impression of Sam in April, the Mike McDonald got, the John Schneider got, was like, ooh, yeah, this is everything we wanted. This is the humble guy. This is the guy that's using his scars and his experience to not be bitter and to not be selfish, but to actually be humble and pick everybody else up. They knew it in April, Salk.
Morning 6 to 10, only on Seattle Sports.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here for my friends at People Come First, or PCF Construction Group. Spring and summer, it's right around the corner. So if you haven't called PCF about getting started on your new deck, well, right now is the time. With a patio cover, heater, and fireplace from PCF, you can enjoy your outdoor deck or patio all year long. And right now, you can get up to $6,000 off your entire project, plus no payments and no interest until 2027. Save an additional $1,500 when you bundle your deck and patio cover. Some restrictions do apply, but do what we did. Contact PCF for all the details and start planning and designing your dream deck now so you're ready to build by the spring. Planning and permits, they can take a little time, so please don't wait. Get started today. Get project ideas, browse photos, and find all the offer details at PCFgroup.com. That's PCFgroup.com.
Making your outdoor space with People Come First.
Let's talk about your hair. Well, maybe after we talk about my hair. I've got great hair, as you know, and it's because of Advanced Hair. Yep, Advanced Hair Restoration. Their simple one-day treatment offers life-changing results that I can attest to. Guys, it's not magic, but it's close to it. They put hair where you need it most, and bam, it grows. It's actual science. Advanced Hair has top-rated physicians, modern technology, and best of all, you get your very own natural hair that begins to regrow the very next day. It's even guaranteed to grow for life. So schedule your free consultation now at 425-449-8185. Mention Curly to qualify for $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. It's a limited time offer. Advanced Hair, the winner of the 425 Business of the Year, and the team that gave me my hair back. More importantly, they'll do the same for you, guaranteed. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Access to education changes lives. That's why National University provides flexible online and hybrid programs from associate to doctorate degrees. Since 1971, NU was built to serve non-traditional working and military learners nationwide. NU understands the demands of work, family, and service. Each year, more than 130,000 learners trust National University to move forward. Visit nu.edu to learn more.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like payroll manager.
Hi, my last paycheck was all in Icelandic krona.
You are welcome.
Welcome?
Given the exchange rate between the dollar and the krona, you're technically a millionaire now. Don't spend it all in one place.
I can't really spend it anywhere.
There's always Iceland.
This is your job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Sometimes even heroes need rescuing.
I'm a retired firefighter, 27 years.
Kurt had severe pain in his knees and his shoulder, which was keeping him from enjoying his well-deserved retirement.
Loved to ski, loved to fish, and couldn't even walk 18 holes.
That's why Kurt decided to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
He was just awesome. He goes, yeah, give me a shot. And he took care of me. He stemmed my knee and my shoulder.
And how are you feeling now?
I was pain-free in 12 weeks. I play golf now pain-free, and it's awesome.
So you'd recommend this treatment to others in your situation?
Absolutely. Yeah, Dr. Wagner's, he's had a couple people call me, and I recommended that they do it.
Before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest. This is the power of 12 is 1, man.
KIRO AM Seattle and KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
It's gold for the U.S. Olympic women's ice hockey team. Megan Keller's goal in overtime just gave the U.S. women the win over Canada. What's going on with the Mariners at spring training? Shannon Drayer checking in with us next.
Snapshot brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. Mariners Sports Insider Shannon Drayer joining us on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. As a reminder, Shannon's spring training updates live from Peoria are brought to you by Pacific Lamp and Supply. Shannon, I'm concerned. I don't mean to start this segment with concern, but I'm worried about how many treats Tucker's getting. I just read about Josh Naylor feeding him treats all the time. I know Rick Riz does. I know you do too, Shannon. Who's monitoring this calorie count for Tucker? I'm disappointed in all of you.
Stacey, yes, I think we might need somebody to grab control of this right now.
Yeah, I will. Fly out there, lay down the law.
I did not have the treats today. I did not have time. I got in kind of late-ish yesterday. Didn't buy the dog bones, so opted for the breakfast sandwich for him from the drive-thru instead. But all he gets is the turkey bacon and a little bit of the egg. So I think that, we're keeping it light for him. But, yeah, no, he has the run of the place. This is just, doggy nirvana without doubt. I mean, he can go anywhere and find anything to eat. Ate all the pizza crust a few years ago out of like 18 boxes on the minor league side. Got sick, learned his lesson in that one. But a lot of affection for Tucker, and that adds up to a lot of treats, and he knows where each and every one of them are.
Shannon, you strike me as a organized, routine type of person. What's your routine down there during spring training?
My routine?
Yeah, like is there a position you go see first? Breakfast at 6, go for a walk, go catch up the pitchers. Like, what's it like to be Shannon Drayer?
You have to get up really early. I mean, you have to be here at about 7:15 every morning, and sometimes you're staying close and sometimes you're not, and coffee is absolutely required, so that has to be factored into the equation. So it's dark when I get up to go to work, and then you get to the ballpark, and I kind of trudge in, and I forget what the combination is to get in, and somebody lets me in if I'm not the first one in, and if not, I've got to wait a little bit. And then after that, you set up your stuff, you take a deep breath, and you walk into the clubhouse, you see what that brings, you take a walk outside, because even though the official, the timed workouts and whatnot don't start until about 10 o'clock, there's all sorts of work that's going on early on, out on the fields, out on the practice infield spot, the pitching mounds a little bit, not as much, but a little bit. You can sometimes catch things there. You can see the weight room from there. And you just, especially in these first couple of days, you want to get a feel for it. You want to see what people are doing and what they look like. So it's not any one thing particular that I go to, but there are a couple of, spots that you hit first on, see if anybody's in the clubhouse. If not, go out to that back porch and wait to see where people are coming in and kind of go from there. And Dan Wilson talks at 8 o'clock. And that's when you sit down and you get your questions answered, and then you've got a little bit of time at that point to go back into the clubhouse and ask questions. And then about an hour after that is when everybody comes out and all the bullpens start and the batting practices. And then you've got to stay organized about it. And I noticed that's one of the first things I noticed today is the schedule that they have is just it's a myriad of cells and times and this group here and that group there and whatnot. It's about double the size it was last year. And I don't think that there's really much of anything that's added as far as what they're doing, but the precision that they're putting it up on the board is they're much more detailed in it. And so it looked intimidating at first, but you've got to have that. And if you don't have that schedule, it's a very quick amount of time that they get the work in. And if you're not in the right place at the right time, you're going to miss it if you don't, have that schedule down and know what you're doing. So you want to make sure you take a look at that. And today, some of the highlights were you knew that Andres Munoz was going to be throwing a bullpen. Bryce Miller was going to be throwing live, I believe, for the first time. And so you wanted to see that as well. If you could get out to the batting practices to see, see Julio take some swings, see Cal take some swings, see Naylor take some swings, do that. But there are so many things that happen in such a compressed time. It's impossible to see them all. So you have to really take a look at that schedule first thing and figure out what are the things that you are going to really need to see that day.
I started by asking about Tucker because I saw a column by Daniel Kramer about Josh Naylor and kind of how he spent the offseason and things that drove him to come back here. He seems to have so embraced the Seattle sports scene and Seattle community. What's it mean for this team, for this club, to get a full season from him?
You brought up things that you don't see on the field. And I think that is so important, that you do have guys that embrace the community the way Josh Naylor is doing. Cal Raleigh has really led the way on that. And I think that you take a little bit more ownership. You're showing more ownership when you do that. And to me, that's impressive to have, a number of players that are doing that right now. And to be, outward and Josh Naylor's, and I guess in Cal's for Cal as well, there's an aspect of fun to it. You look at what Cal did this year, and one of my favorite games was like kind of playing the Where's Waldo of Where's Cal this offseason with, the Instagram and where's he, what's he doing? What sporting event is he at? What award ceremony? Oh, he's in Vegas. Oh my gosh, he's up on stage. He's telling jokes. What is happening here? He's going to every Seattle sports, anything that he's invited to, he goes to, and he has fun with it. And Naylor, when he was in town, you just kind of almost saw a different side of him. But, you can tell he's such a fan because, he loves the gear. He gets fired up about it. But it was so funny because for a guy that, has this reputation of just, he's the stern guy. He's, I think somebody called him the big grumper for a little while when he first got over here. After he signed that contract and he was out and about, every picture you saw of him, he had the biggest smile on his face. And it was like, who is that guy? And to see them enjoying it and having fun with it, I think is fantastic. But I think that it also, how important is it to them? It kind of provides a base for everybody. It's a foundation, and it also, gives, I think, an outlet for the fans. Hey, look, they're embracing us. We embrace them, but they're embracing us right now. And I think that is something that they all end up feeling in spades. Once you get into the stadium, once the games get going, certainly down here. I can tell you right now, one of the things that's really jumped out at me, and I am a little bit later, but not much, this is the biggest crowd I've seen in a long time for the Mariners this early in spring training. I got to the park early today, and I was looking at the parking lot, and there are people that are waiting to get in the gates right now. That's fantastic. And, you did have to kind of jostle for position today if you wanted to be up against one of the fences to see the guys. It was really impressive how many people were here.
Hey, Shannon, we know that there are going to be about 16 to possibly 18 players gone for the WBC, which is going to allow for some of these young guys to get some opportunities. Who are you looking forward most to see out of those young guys?
Yeah, I'm interested to see how it's going to work because when you look at it, it's, the young guys that we're interested in seeing are the pitchers and the infielders, and there really aren't a lot of pitchers or relievers and no infielders other than Naylor that are going. So I think there's going to be some juggling that has to be done to get those young guys into those spots. But, today, I think the appetite has just been whetted. Finally, I've followed Ryan Sloan since he was drafted. It was just kind of fascinating. Oh, it's a high school pitcher. Well, this is going to take a little while. And then you see him, and he looked like he was 12 when he first signed, except like an overgrown 12-year-old. And watching him throw today, it's remarkable. He looks like he absolutely belongs out there, and he's only just turned 20. And and not only belongs out there, but has the chance to be an absolute force at 20. You don't look at 20-year-old pitchers and say that. And that's so impressive. So I can't wait to see him. We only saw a tiny bit of him last year. We saw him in the Futures game, I think, and that was about it. He really didn't get into much else. So very interested in that. Colt Emerson, obviously all eyes are going to be on him, and I love the approach that he took even before the end of the season last season when he was up with the big team and he'd been through, his minor league season, which is still, again, this is, was a teenager last year, young guy. And when he got up to the big leagues, he wasn't pretending like he was going to make the team in September. He wasn't overly focused on this is what I've got to do in the off season right now. He was taking in everything that he possibly could. And when I did ask him, what are you learning from this and how do you take that into your off season? He said, honestly, I will evaluate that at the end of the season. I need to experience it right now. And I thought that when he also said something about, and I need to stop a little bit too before I do that. The maturity to do that and the ability to slow things down and keep things in front of him the way that he did, I thought was very impressive. Cole Young, I know that, he's got considerable playing time now, but this is a big spring for him. I'm very interested to see how that works out and what he looks like. He's one of the kind of, I don't want to say best shape of his life, but definitely different shape and definitely approach things differently this year because of what he went through last year. If you remember, you've heard Justin Hollander a couple of times say, they've got a lot of confidence in him and they just believe that he wore down a little bit in his first major league season. Well, how do you get ready for that not to happen, especially if you look at what the expectation is that your second big league season hopefully is going to be extended. So those are just a couple of the names that'll be interesting. Of course, Las Montes out in the outfield. Can't wait to see him either.
Well, on a related note to Cole Young, you mentioned this is going to be a really important spring. I also know that it's so tricky because there's so little you can actually take from spring. So what does it look like when we're tracking, your updates from Peoria and looking for notes about Cole Young or how he's doing? What kinds of things are you watching for?
I think for him, and he's starting in a good place. The Mariners, they like him. They believe in him. I think they are hoping that he is their opening day shortstop. And that's, what the plan has been. He was a number one pick of theirs. He got his feet wet last year. Even though there was all of this excitement for Colt Emerson, you still want to forward Cole Young. And I think for him, it's going to be, I think Emerson and Young are going to watch a little bit differently. With Emerson, one of the things I'm going to watch most intently is what happens in the final week of spring training. What happens in those last 10 games? When young players get into games in spring training early on, even if they're facing big league pitchers, they are not usually at the top of their game. They're not usually, maybe 70% representative of what you might see in the regular season. Well, that changes the closer you get to the end. And that's usually when you see the younger players, even, kind of the dynamos really just fall off. All of a sudden, the big leaguers start locking in, the pitching gets tougher, and that's kind of an eye-opener for them. Will we see that with Colt Emerson this year? We're going to have to wait and see. On the other hand, you've got Cole Young, who's been through that all. You know that he had that kind of shaky second half, and you know that he went to work on it. So for him, I think you're going to be looking for an aspect of consistency from him at some point. I think the only thing that you really need to see from him is that he's not overly struggling, that he is not, struggling to keep his head above water. He needs to go out there and look like he belongs, and he needs to, not be at the end of spring training and only have 3 hits under his belt. Like some veterans, you might allow that because they've had the springs before, they have the track record. He just needs some sort of consistency, I think, towards the end.
Shannon, spring training updates are brought to you by Pacific Lamp and Supply. She is Mariners insider Shannon Drayer, kind enough to join us from Peoria. Thanks, Shannon.
Thanks, Shannon.
You got it, guys.
All right, some breaking news. Team USA won gold in women's hockey. Team Canada hanging on to a 1-0 lead through most of the third period. I thought this one might be over, but shame on me because Seattle Torrent captain Hilary Knight tied the game at 1 in the game's final minutes.
Across to Keller. Back out to Edwards. Edwards with a shot. Score! The United States ties it with a goaltender pulled with 2:04 remaining. The captain, Hilary Knight.
This one went into overtime, and I was looking down on my computer, and Bump, you said, oh my God, did they just win? They did, thanks to Megan Keller.
The outlet pass for Keller, a defenseman. Nice move, cuts to the net. Score! Megan Keller, the overtime hero. The United States wins gold and belong.
Gold for Team USA, and congratulations to them. Bump, that was filthy. You were pointing it out, too.
Hey, we call that dangle. She was dangling out there, man. I don't know what the move is called. Wrapped around, a little backhand, boop, in there. Gold medal. It's all right, Canada. Maybe next time.
Absolutely amazing. Also, what a week for Hilary Knight, who just got engaged at the games.
Seattle's own Hilary Knight.
Seattle's own Hilary Knight, who gets engaged. I think it's her final game, so you wrap it up with an engagement. And then a gold medal.
She became Team USA's all-time leading scorer, too, with that goal.
Just a real casual. I'll go ahead and take this one right here. So congratulations to Team USA. An amazing performance, beating Canada to take gold in women's hockey. I will save you all from the USA chants, which I know were ringing in that stadium. I just know that they were in the arena. Absolutely. Let's get to 4 Down territory.
This is 4 down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down, Bump, another coaching move. Tell us about our newly promoted run game coordinator, Justin Otten.
Listen, Stace, I'm not going to lie. I was looking up and I go, man, I'm going to find like some great things, awesome things about our guy, Otten. He was the OC in Denver. 21st overall in offense, 19 passing, 21st running, last in scoring. But his quarterback was Russell Wilson during that whole crazy time. Third down percentage, they were last. Passing attempts, they were 17. Rush per attempt, they were 17. It didn't look good when you look at him when it comes to the numbers. But then you look at just the places that he has been. Okay, he is a well-versed coach. He worked for the Falcons as an intern. He was offensive assistant for the Falcons. He was a tight ends coach for the Green Bay Packers, offensive coordinator for the Broncos, running backs and run game coordinator for the Titans, also tight ends coach for the Titans, run game specialist last year, and offensive assistant coach on that offensive line. So look, there are things that some coaches can't handle, personnel and leadership. And we all know in 2022 with the Denver Broncos, the personnel was not that great and the leadership wasn't as well. Sometimes you fall victim to that. But if you look at just his recent, assistant job, run game specialist, run game looked pretty good this year. Assistant offensive line coach, offensive line got better and better and better. And a lot of times when you're the assistant to the assistant, you're doing a lot of dirty work with these guys. You're more hands-on. So, I'm going to ignore what happened in Denver. I'm going to say nothing really good happened in 2022 in Denver. I'm going to look at how the offensive line has progressed this year and how good the run game looked. So, Otten, do your thing. Keep it rolling.
Second down. What do you think happens with A.J. Brown?
A.J. Brown, so there are some trade rumors going on, and you tell me if you if I say something you like. All right, Jeremy Fowler says Eagles get a 2026 first-round pick. A.J. goes to the Browns.
Yeah, first-round pick? Yes.
Yeah, but A.J. going to the Browns ain't going to make the Browns contenders. You got to start.
Best of luck, A.J.
You got to start getting talent. I get that, but that ain't it. Dan Graziano says Eagles, 2026 first-round pick. He goes to the Bills.
Oh, that's very intriguing. Yes, absolutely.
Better.
Yeah, they need wide receiver talent badly.
This is the one I like the most. All right, you got Ben Solak, friend of the show. Eagles get 2027 second-round pick.
That feels more believable.
2027 fourth-round pick. Conditional third-rounder and Rashid Bateman. Ravens get the Browns. The reason why I like that pick is because Rashid Bateman is a cool number 2 receiver. He's had some big games in him. The guy in Minnesota, he's a big receiver. And AJ goes to a place where he feels like he can win right now. Same conference. I don't know how they feel about that, but I like it. Last one, which I think this one's interesting too. Seth Walder says Eagles, 2026 first-round pick, 2026 third-round pick, 2026 sixth-round pick.
What?
AJ goes to the Browns.
Oh,
not the Browns. Sorry. Excuse me. The Patriots. Goes to the Patriots. This one is intriguing because Diggs isn't the guy he used to be. Booty is a good downfield threat. Hollins is going to be good as a number 2 receiver. You got Douglas over there as well. Got my white son who's fighting for his spot. The Patriots, are they a receiver away from a championship? No, I think you got to work on that O-line. But I like that pick as well. I want to say, but the Baltimore Ravens is my favorite.
Yeah, because Lamar's an exceptional quarterback. I actually like Bills and Pats as the landing spots best. The return, any first-round return is going to be amazing. Obviously, the return you would get from a team like the Browns is massively higher, though they wouldn't give you their first, right? Do they have multiple firsts? There's no way.
Cool.
They're not going to give like a top 5 pick.
No,
absolutely not.
Heck no.
I'm surprised that as many people had him going for a first. Maybe I've just seen too many of the recent. I'm not the expert, they are, but I've just kind of assumed that like seconds is kind of like the gold standard of like, yeah, you'll get second rounders, but AJ's incredibly talented, so yeah, but I like the Bills and Pats the most, I think.
All right.
What's next? Sorry, third down. Sorry. I'm climbing up the leaderboard, I know. Who's a player the Hawks could bring in to compete at guard?
All right, so this guy was a first-round pick a few years back, and he started at tackle. They moved him to guard. Young man out of Alabama. Wasn't activated a single game this year because of hamstring issues. But you look at former first-round pick Evan Neal and say, okay, let's bring you in and have you compete with Anthony Bradford. I think that's what you're doing at this point is you are trying to find any type of experience out there to compete with this young man. Spotrac has him. He's 25 years of age, and his market value is $4.3 million a year. I think this would be worth the swing. The only knock with him is, can he stay healthy? And he didn't shine with the New York Giants, right? He's a first-round pick. Didn't shine over there. Wasn't activated one game this year because of injury. But maybe this is another project that you can bring in, see if he can compete. You can always cut him if it doesn't work out before the season. But it's all about competition, bringing guys in. I would take a strong kick of the tires at Evan Neal and see if he can compete.
4th down. I did it right this time. Thank you. What did you hear from Nick Manwari's interview on the pivot that you loved?
It's the same thing I keep hearing about Sam Darnold, but the way he said it made it even more believable, and I think that it is true, that he's just the same all the time, that nothing phases him. He said, man, he jogged off the field after throwing an interception, saying to me that nothing's changed, still calm, cordial, talking to people, talking about the next drive. And I think that's so important, man. I think that you got to know yourself. I feel like there were times in Sam's life where maybe he did get emotional and then went out there and just lost his mind. The worst game I played, I was a freshman. We played Redondo Beach High School. And I remember sitting on the bench. I knew it was a big game, and I'm just putting so much pressure on myself. I was a quarterback, threw like 3 interceptions, and I knew that me putting that pressure on myself just jacked my head up. With all the ups and downs you have as an athlete, you get to know yourself even more and more. It has to coincide with your personality. I think he's already a calm dude. But I guarantee you there was a time where he let it get to him. Maybe it was in New York, and his demeanor changed. But no, hearing it from Nick Manwari, a defensive guy, because you always hear it from the offensive side, I think made it even more real. So, Sam, keep doing your thing.
Coming up next, though, heading to the station for Hype Train.
He built the Seahawks into the 2025 Super Bowl champions.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
And every Thursday afternoon at 4, he's on Seattle Sports.
We have higher expectations for ourselves.
It's the John Schneider Show, presented by Silver City Brewery. 2025 NFL Executive of the Year, John Schneider.
I think it's the ultimate organizational award.
Every Thursday at 4, exclusively on the home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
So, how's your research going?
Surprising! After I figured out the top-rated TVs in our price range, I went shopping for deals.
And who's the best?
It wasn't the internet, and it wasn't the Warehouse Club.
But
It was video only. They had better deals on the Samsung, LG, and the Sony TVs that got the highest scores.
better than online and at the club?
I know! Video only beat them all. And now we can afford an even better model for the same price. My research really paid off.
If we buy it video only.
Exactly. Otherwise, we'll be sorry.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
You'll be sorry.
in South Center, Bellevue, Linwood, Federal Way, and Tacoma, Video Only.
Do you like helping others? Become a Shiva volunteer in Whatcom County. Join the hundreds of volunteers across Washington state who help over 90,000 people each year with their Medicare options and questions. You don't have to know Medicare. We'll teach you. And if you're bilingual, even better. For more information and how to apply, call Shiva at 1-800-562-6900 or go to insurance.wa.gov.
Sponsored by the Office of the Insurance Commissioner and aired by the Washington State Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Don't miss the John Schneider Show, presented by Silver City Brewery.
I truly believe defense wins championships.
Thursdays at 4, only on Seattle Sports.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals, and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio. So we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
Well, what other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
What I need to know is coming your way in 15 minutes, so get those questions in. Any question, or, in my opinion, anyone seeking advice. I still like those ones. 866-979-3776 is the number. 866-979-3776. Let's head to the station for Hype Train. Well, Woolen sounds eager to explore free agency. In fact, we played a cut from him from SiriusXM earlier in the show.
It's exciting just because I know the work I put in. I feel like I've done great, and I know the type of player I am.
Well, that's someone who wants to be able to explore a couple different offers. Woolen is not a Seahawk in 2026.
Man, I think because of his just physical, right? His measurements, he's tall, long limbs, fast, has decent ball skills. I know they're knocks. You can knock any player if you want to. That someone's going to value him more, and they're going to pay him more than what the Hawks are willing to offer. So because of that, no, I'm not on this train. Actually, I am on this train. He will not be a Seahawk.
I know. I was trying to figure out which way do I. Okay.
He will not.
Woolen is not a Seahawk in 2026. Bump is boarding. He thinks Reek signs elsewhere. Curtis.
I think Reek is a luxury signing at this point. You thank him for his service in a Seahawks uniform, but I think he plays elsewhere, so I'm boarding this train. He is not a Seahawk in 2026.
I'm with you guys, also boarding this train. All aboard this one. I don't know exactly where it is. Matt Bowen of ESPN thinks it should be the New York Jets. I don't know why a team like Jacksonville or something would also make sense. I think it's just because they've signed former Seahawks. That's just where my mind goes.
Maybe the Panthers then?
Maybe the Panthers. But yeah, I agree with you guys for the same reasons. I don't think Reek is here. Next up, Colt Emerson breaks camp with the Mariners.
Ooh, he played at SS, don't he? He played at SS. So what does that mean for JP? You know? What do you got at second right now? Cole Young?
Just, like letting him platoon places or just get some time.
Platoon, yeah. I mean, you know what? I'm just going to say because I'm on.
Just vibes.
Just because, you know what? I would love for him to impress so much that they're like, we cannot leave this young man in Arkansas, wherever they put him, Everett, Tacoma. You pick.
Wherever he is. Colt Emerson breaks camp with the Mariners. Bump is boarding, though he did admit that this is really on vibes. Even though he's very young. But he is quite talented, and he'd love to be able to look at that and say, yeah, he is breaking camp. Curtis, Colt Emerson breaks camp with the Mariners. Are you boarding this train?
Bump, I'd love to be on this train with you. I see where you're going.
But you're not.
It looks like a fun destination.
Stay in the lobby or wherever the heck you're going.
You're having fun in the, was it the sleeper car or whatever, the meal car, whatever modes of transportation they have in a train. I'm not boarding this train.
Wow.
I think it's going to be Brendan Donovan, J.P. Crawford, Cole Young, and Josh Naylor. That's your starting infield to start the season. But I think Colt Emerson's going to be up probably before June. So it won't be long before we see Colt Emerson. But I don't think he breaks camp with the team. I'm not boarding this train.
I am boarding this train, but I'll tell you why. I don't actually think he breaks camp with the team, but you guys always do everything together and agree on the same things and hang out together and match outfits. And so finally it's my turn to hang out with Bump. And me and Bump are on the train, and Curtis is
going to be like, actually, on second thought, I'm not boarding this
Seriously,
train.
I'm like, I'm always the one left out. You two have whole conversations, what was it, about battleships one day when I walked in, and all of a sudden the conversation stops. It just kills me. So yeah, I'm seizing this opportunity to finally, it's me and Bump against Curtis. Take that.
Take that.
Yeah, I don't think he does, but now I do. Next up. Team USA women just won gold. Your hype train, Team USA sweeps the gold medals in hockey.
You know, when I was in college, Stacy, I used to throw house parties. They were pretty good house parties, too. And there's a song that came on that got everybody going. And the bass of the song was... And it was Young Jock is going down. Okay? That's what it was. It's going down. We about to sweep. Let's get her done. Ladies, way to set the tone. Let's go.
Matt, is it too late for us to find a clean version of Young Jock? Young Jock instrumental?
I do not have enough time to leave that.
He don't even know what that is.
Yeah, no.
He's going to type it in.
How about
Jock? That's not it.
No, Matt knows. What if we come back with it for what I need to know? No, that's a no.
Don't know what the song
that's
is.
okay. That's fine. Team USA sweeps the gold medals in hockey. Bump and Young Jock say it's going down.
It's going down.
Curtis, are you boarding this train as well?
Last time Team USA won Olympic gold, it's the Miracle on Ice. It's been forever ago.
Yeah.
46 years now.
That's crazy.
Since the Miracle on Ice.
Yeah, too many people here for that. Too many people in this country.
But
How are we so good at other sports?
But you know what? It's happening.
Let's go.
They get by Slovakia, and then they meet the winner of Canada and Finland in the gold medal game. It doesn't even matter. It could be Canada. It could be Finland. Either way, they're getting an L. So,
there you go.
Team USA, we're sweeping
I prefer
the
it be Canada. Let's just beat them both.
Yeah.
Right, sweeping
You know what I say? They speed right on past Slovakia, and then they go on to finish Finland. And I don't have one for Canada.
Oh, okay.
Canada, more like can't win gold.
Got him.
I'm boarding.
Dang.
Next up. We explored a lot of alternatives for the NBA draft. This is really just that the NBA should do away with the draft. Now, I do want to offer a little bit of context for anyone who wasn't listening earlier in the show or who missed this story. There has been a back and forth about whether or not the NBA should embrace tanking with, I would say most people saying absolutely do not embrace tanking, and the only way you get rid of tanking is by changing the draft or eliminating it. A few others, Mark Cuban being one of them, saying embrace tanking. It is what it is. It's just leave it there. So this is on the side of trying to do away with tanking. The NBA should ditch the draft.
Yo, Van Gundy, he that hit. I'm with him 100%. You have the auction draft. You say, all right, this is what you have. You still have the order, right? You still have the order of the draft, and then the team who's up selects the player and say, all right, this time around we're throwing up Bobby Joe. All right, Bobby Joe, bidding starts, and you take away from your cap, and you bid for Bobby Joe. I like this. I'm on board. Get rid of the draft. That gets rid of tanking, and that helps the gambling that you're in bed with over there in Vegas. So, yeah, Van Gundy, I'm with you.
The NBA should do away with the draft. Curtis, bump boarded. Are you joining him?
I mean, this feels like the most surefire way to get rid of tanking. Like, there's literally no incentive to have the most losses at the end of the season. And this seems to be the league that has the worst problem with it. You don't see tanking in the way that it's done in the NBA in
as
the
blatantly.
NFL.
No.
Like, even though the NFL has the same incentive for the worst team in the league, like, at least the Raiders seem to be trying at the end of the year.
You can't get all those people to do it. The closest we saw was the Texans-Colts game that decided the
That's
number
right,
one
but
pick.
then the Texans got a last-minute touchdown and played their way out of the number one pick.
And they were upset about it.
Doing away with the draft, sure. Let's board this train. Let's get wild. Let's get crazy. I just don't know if they will because there's so much money. I mean, that's a big event on the NBA calendar, and like there's probably a lot of sponsors that would be like, and I'm sure ESPN pays an exorbitant amount to broadcast those rights. So I don't know if the networks would be all for it, but you got to do something because the product is a really hard watch right now.
Yes, for all the same reasons. Getting to the last hype train. This one's a little weird. I like having sometimes food ones or funny ones. The point of the segment is just like, hey, this is a take. A lot of people probably agree, but do you? I was just thinking about this the other day. You can't eat salads when it's cold.
What?
You can't.
I heard what you
salads when it's
I
cold.
heard what you said. Of course you can.
No, you can't eat soup in the summer.
I like how Stacy
now?
prefaces this with like a lot of people will agree with me.
A lot of people are saying this.
No, I don't think anybody said this.
So I got a Caesar salad premix in my refrigerator right now. I will take that thing out, put it in a bowl, ranch that baby up, and let's go.
It's just not the season.
Tripping.
You
mean when the weather's cold?
Yes.
You said when it's cold. I'm thinking you meant like the actual salad.
Wow.
I'm like, what?
Not like a hot salad.
Oh, snaps.
Nothing like a hot Caesar.
You can eat salad whenever you want to.
I mean, sure. It's kind of like you can wear open-toed shoes whenever you want to, in theory.
Yeah, you should go to school at Wazoo. Open toes in the snow all the time. Makes no sense to me.
Doesn't shock me.
Crazy.
Derogatory. Go Dogs.
Yeah, you can eat it when it's cold.
You can't eat salad when it's cold. Bump, for some reason, is boarding this train.
He's not boarding
It's not boarding this train.
Not
I
boarding.
wouldn't eat soup on a hot summer day. No point in my life in July have I craved pho, even though it's delicious.
Stacey.
You drink iced coffee when
I was
it's
gonna
cold.
say.
Yeah, it's
what's your
different.
preferred method of drinking coffee? Iced. It's
Yeah.
like 40 degrees outside.
I think that's different.
You can have cold food on a cold day.
Curtis, you can't eat salad when it's cold.
Pozole, when it's hot, that's
Yeah.
a soup. Yes. You tripping.
You can't eat soup in the summertime.
Yeah, you can.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can.
Salad is summer soup.
What?
And soup is winter salad. Those are the rules. Are you boarding the train or not, Curtis?
I'm not boarding this train.
Okay, whatever. Matt, you get it.
No, don't lump me in with this. No, I do not get it. Do not make me one of you.
I feel like someone somewhere listening understands the logic and the point that I'm trying to make here. There are just certain things that make sense in the summer and make sense in the winter. And salad makes sense in the summer?
Your opinion doesn't make sense at any point of the year.
Matt, shut up. How dare you? Get your questions in for what I need to know. 866-979-3776. That's next on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Brock and Salk on the home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Just thinking back on Sam Darnold.
That first impression of Sam in April, the Mike McDonald got, the John Schneider got, was like, ooh, yeah, this is everything we wanted. This is the humble guy. This is the guy that's using his scars and his experience to not be bitter and to not be selfish, but to actually be humble and pick everybody else up. They knew it in April, Salk.
Morning 6 to 10, only on Seattle Sports.
Matt Coker here with West Coast Men's Health. In the past 5 years, we've seen thousands of men at our clinics. Most guys tell us the same story, that in their early 50s, it's not that they couldn't function, they just needed help. They started taking Viagra, and it worked great at first. But after a few years, it stopped working. The problem is that their arteries had become more restricted since they started taking it, because Viagra does not unclog arteries. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we use acoustic wave therapy to target the real problem. We break down plaque and clear up the arteries so blood can flow like it did in your 20s. This restores function. And guys, listen to this. You won't have to take a pill anymore. So if this sounds like you, give West Coast Men's Health a call today and see how we can help.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
That's another amazing run by Team USA.
Mom, think I'll be on Team USA one day?
Well, I'll take this one.
What? Are you speaking to us?
Yes, and to answer your question, anything's possible, especially with Xfinity.
So, I can be the best snowboarder ever?
Well, I can't guarantee that, but Xfinity can guarantee that your internet price won't change for 5 years.
Okay. What if I practice every day?
Then maybe you'll be snowboarding for Team USA at the next Olympic Winter Games. And Mom, you'll still be paying the same price for Wi-Fi.
Ooh, really stuck the landing there.
It's the Xfinity Gold Medal Celebration. Now through February 22nd, get our best price on gig Wi-Fi for 5 years guaranteed, just $50 a month. Plus, get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. That's a $10.99 value per month. Xfinity. Imagine that. Proud partner of Team USA. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Actual speeds vary.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
If you actually are the person that will take care of them after the fact, if you actually will be there for them, if you will pick up your phone, then they come back to you.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
The celebration continues.
We never wavered, man. We believed in each other. We loved each other.
On the home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Hey, it's Mike Salk here. The championship trophy is back in Seattle where it belongs. The big game is in the rear view, and the next big moment is going to be baseball's opening day. Well, why don't you make a commitment right now to look and feel your very best by then? People all over the Northwest could lose 20, 30, 40, maybe 50 pounds just by the start of baseball season. And it starts by calling Eastside Weight Loss Clinic. A 15-minute phone call is all it takes to get started. I did this program. I lost 10 pounds in the first week. I lost about 35 pounds in just 8 weeks. Here's what I didn't have to do. Fight for space in a crowded gym with all those New Year's resolutioners. No pills, no injections, no fake bland box meals or anything like that. Just real food that you buy at the grocery store with delicious recipes, great coaching, support, and accountability. Do it for yourself this year. Call Eastside Weight Loss Clinic or go to eastsideweightlossclinic.com. Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ENJOY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Get your questions in for What I Need to Know, 866-979-3776. What I Need to Know, you can only keep one. D-Law, Kobe Bryant, Ken Walker. Who are you keeping on the Seahawks and why?
Wasn't DeMarcus Lawrence under
D-Law's
contract?
under contract.
Yes, so I'm including it anyways, even though D-Law isn't a free agent.
Well, you can't include him.
Okay.
That's not a reality.
Then this one, Kobe Bryant or Ken Walker?
Now, that's a tough one. I'm going to go Kobe because he's going to go for lower than the price range of his position. I think K9 is going to ask and get about 12 to 14 million.
It's like I know you're right, but my fear keeps making me think the answer is Ken Walker. Just because I know how central the run is to what they're trying to do, how great Ken Walker looked in the last month and a half, 2 months of the season.
So go K9.
I think I'm going K9. I don't love spending. I don't love that you're probably going to be overpaying for how you're actually using him. Like what his usage looks like in the regular season was very different than what it looked like in the playoffs. And the playoff usage and the importance is commanding a contract that's a bit different. That sucks.
Yep.
But who else do you have? I mean, Charbonnet's coming off a torn ACL.
McIntosh. I think McIntosh, if he gets a chance, I rock with him. And you draft.
It would be really cool if he could work out, but I'm not ready to bet any kind of money I own on Kenny McIntosh bringing exactly what Ken Walker does. Injuries or not. It's just makes me nervous. What I need to know. What's the best? They said handheld candy. Like pieces of candy. What's the best handheld candy, aka pieces of candy? M&M's.
What other type of candy is there?
Handheld.
Well, I think they mean you'll see they're hard shelled candy is I think what they're maybe getting at. Hard shell candy. M&M's, Reese's Pieces, that's hard to say, or Skittles.
Reese's. Whenever Reese's is in a conversation, they win. Whenever.
Even the Pieces?
Yeah. They win.
I disagree with you. I think
you're allowed to.
Reese's
soup girl. Your taste buds.
Shut up. Okay, I didn't champion soup or salad. I just said that you can enjoy them in different seasons. You are right overall. Reese's is the best candy overall, top seed, number one pick, etc. I don't like Pieces though. I mean, they're fine. It's just something about them is like chalky. Does anyone else feel that way? They aren't the same.
No.
They're missing, I don't know. They're missing something.
Tastes like chocolate and peanut butter to me.
Okay. So your guys' answers are that. I'm going Skittles. What I need to know. Remember when Twinkies almost went extinct? What's a food you enjoyed as a kid, but they don't make it anymore, so you'll never, ever get it again?
All the food I enjoy, they still make. I can't remember any.
No way.
Yes.
Butterfinger BBs.
Remember the
those are okay.
3D Doritos that would turn your
3D
tongue blue?
Doritos.
Yeah.
I didn't like
Choco
those.
Tacos. That
Never
one
had
killed
Choco
me.
Tacos.
They were
Pepsi Blue.
amazing. Choco Tacos, big for people who love waffle cones. Pepsi Blue, you said.
Yeah.
I don't know what that. I've never
It was
met
like
them.
it was like blue raspberry flavor.
You know
that's
what?
interesting.
They still make it, but it hits different. Gatorade out of a glass bottle. There's something about drinking Gatorade out of a glass bottle.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't
I
know
like
that
the
existed.
Gatorade. I don't think they make it anymore. Gatorade with the twist top.
Sports top on
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Didn't they used to have, they're not lifesavers, but they were hard candies that were like
Now-and-laters.
strawberries and cream, orange and cream.
savers. Oh,
Cream
creamsicles.
savers. Those were
They still make those.
Okay, I haven't seen them in a long time. They
Yeah.
remind me of like 5th grade or elementary school or middle school. So good.
I like those.
Yeah. Those would be all of our answers. What I need to know. Don't you, they're talking about Ken Walker, I think. Don't you need to use him the way we did in the regular season to be able to use him like we did in the playoffs?
It's safer that way. It's safer. 1-2 combo.
Yeah. Gatorade gum.
I remember those.
I don't remember those at all.
I don't remember that at all.
Oh, God. What I need to know. Because the U.S. women just walked it off against Canada, which sport would you most love to win the game on a walk-off?
It's hitting a bomb in
Yeah,
the
it's
ninth inning of the
baseball.
World Series.
Yeah.
There's no, it's just you. Yeah! Out of there. Watch me around these bases. There's got to be.
Is there anything? I think that's cooler than a buzzer beater in the NCAA.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. That
'Cause
is
the
it.
buzzer beater is
Walk
like-
off. You get to just bask in it too. Bow. You watch that thing go. You do your trot. You point out to the outfield. You point out to your baby mama.
I think you're right. I think that's it. There's nothing cooler. Is that the coolest thing you can do in sports?
Yeah.
Walk off.
Or
Grand
or,
slam.
Or like a 30-foot putt in the Masters to win it, and it's tied. See, you don't golf, so you don't know. I'm telling you.
These
Telling you.
gender drastically different feelings
30-foot putt in the Masters to win it on
Knees
18.
knocking.
Woo, yes. You ever? That's the most nervous I've ever been was over a putt that was going to make me $100.
Did you sink it?
I don't think so. I missed it.
What I need to know, if Vegas and Miami have too many distractions for professional athletes and Utah and Indianapolis have very little, where does Seattle fall on the spectrum of distractions?
Here's the thing about Seattle. It changes on you, right? It's like you see dimes walking all around this piece when the sun's out. As soon as it gets cold, they go into hibernation. You don't see them anymore.
Seattle in the winter is on a different place of the spectrum.
Yeah.
In
Seattle in the summer?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's popping.
Yeah, Seattle in the summer, distractions all around.
All around you.
Every corner around you, bah, here's a distraction.
Exactly. And the club scene ain't crazy out here.
There's no
neither,
club
though.
scene. No, if you're someone that's like, I love clubs, no season in Seattle is going to bring that for you.
Yeah.
But if you love partying on a boat and
like
beautiful
lounges,
people,
rooftop parties,
breweries,
yeah.
Seattle's got you covered.
And there's a lot of women out here that I like that type of scene.
Yeah. Someone said, what about Jolly Ranchers? They still
got
exist.
those, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, those aren't going anywhere, I don't think.
Someone said the only thing that would be cooler is if the pitcher hit it.
They don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Unless you're Ohtani.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's one pitcher that does it.
60-yard field goal in the Super Bowl as time runs out to win it.
You already know how I feel about that.
No, I know. I think that's the definitive answer. Would be a walk-off grand slam.
Grand Salami.
In the World Series.
Or a 30-foot putt in the Masters,
Game
I'm telling
7.
you.
Woo! Wyman and Bob coming up next on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Keep built the Seahawks into the 2025 Super Bowl champions.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
And every Thursday afternoon at 4, he's on Seattle Sports.
I mean, we have higher expectations for ourselves.
It's the John Schneider Show, presented by Silver City Brewery. 2025 NFL Executive of the Year, John Schneider.
I think it's the ultimate organizational award.
Every Thursday at 4, exclusively on the home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home for you so you attract the right buyers. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
I've always wanted to learn French, but the app I tried didn't help.
If you want to memorize words in another language, there's an app for that. But if you want to really learn another language, there's Babbel. Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different. Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Babbel feels like it was created intentionally by people who really know what you need to learn another language. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Want to really learn another language? Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com to save up to 50%. Babbel.com.
You're losing your hair and you simply need a solution that works. You want the best. Modern technology, top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need world-class Dr. Perungo and his team at Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair has completely redefined hair restoration. From the experience itself to their unmatched results. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, maybe all three like I had. Get your hair back with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment that begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. For your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. Right now, you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Refine your hairline with the team that redefined hair restoration. That's 425-449-8185. Or for the before and afters, visit advancedhair.com.
Hey homeowners, are you stuck on the credit card treadmill and stressed because your consumer debt and monthly payments are too high? Well, Brock Hewitt here with a smart solution. Your home's equity in the Seattle Metro is probably larger than ever. It's like you're sitting on a stack of cash. Consider a cash-out refinance with Tila Mortgage to consolidate your high-balance credit cards, second mortgages, home equity lines of credit, and student loans, or get cash for a remodel. With interest rates finally coming down, consolidating your debt now may be the best decision you ever make. With excellent client reviews and trusted in Washington for over 25 years, Tila has competitive rates on refinance, purchase, or reverse mortgages too. Tila, spelled T-I-L-A, is a name you can trust for truthful, honest, and ethical advice for all your mortgage needs. Call Tila Mortgage today, 206-766-8888. That's 206-766-8888 or
Tila Mortgage LLC is a mortgage broker. NMLS 2472046.
Home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest. This is the power of 12 as one, man.
KIRO AM Seattle and